Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Captain Quasar, and welcome back to another live stream. Merry Christmas, DJ, um, and happy holidays to all. We are going to be streaming today. Honestly, we have a few things to look at. I actually found something kind of interesting. It was going to be somewhat lacking of a stream, but now I might need to change the thumbnail and title later because it seems like it's going to be a very throbbing Christmas Eve. Um, if you don't catch my drift, that just sounds like a sexual innuendo. But if you do, it's boy throb. There's something about boy throb that I saw a video of that I want to check out. So, welcome all, welcome in. How's everybody doing this fine day, or evening, or afternoon, or morning? Who knows? Um, I'm doing pretty good, you know. We're excited. We're supposed to get some stuff done tonight, you know, for some festivities and then more things tomorrow. Luckily enough, I don't have little children, so I don't need to be anywhere early tomorrow morning. I'm having H3 withdrawals. Yeah, gotta find some old episodes you don't quite remember. Were you part of the 0.0001% that like you've seen like I saw somebody where it said that they had like 1,800 videos watched, and then I checked the H3 podcast channel, and I was like, yeah, they only have like 1,000. I think they have like less than 1,000. I don't remember how many H3 podcast. How many videos do they have on the channel? Or they do. They have 1.5k. Oh yeah, and then the person had like 1,800 videos viewed, and I was just like, it makes sense that you rewatched some videos, but that is crazy to have watched that many. Need my sound bites? Yeah. I'm sorry, I need to hit my sound bites more. Wait, what? Is he too stoic? Why isn't it working? What's going on? For some reason, the bonks aren't working. Yeah, the stoic and bonks aren't working. Here, let me reload it real quick. How sad. Come on, come on. Let's see. There we go.
Stoic.
I learned a new card game called Bonk today. I've never heard of that. A bonk for that, though. You know, I got some new headphones, and honestly, they're working pretty well. Got it as a little early Christmas gift. And I put some stickers. But I have some Instagram posts to look at, so let's get into it, as always. And then some Reddit posts, not a whole lot. And then moving into YouTube videos. Just a few things for today. We'll see how long I go. I'm gonna be kind of chilling here for a bit. I have quite a while. I'm doing stuff later tonight. For me, it's still a bit earlier, so we got some time to stream. I learned a new card game called
Stoic.
Alex learned a new card game called. I pressed the wrong one again.
Why are you gay?
There we go. I don't know why those are right next to each other, but it works.
Why are you gay?
Gotta press them together from now on. That's all I'll know for sure. But what do we think of this haircut? It's a choppy pixie mullet. I don't necessarily hate it. Yeah, I do. I feel like it was just done poorly. It's styled all right, like it's styled decently, but I don't get why they're like these short. It's like there's a short mullet and a long mullet happening at once. I I understand kind of having the long bangs for the style. Got some bleach damage. Just a little. Not too bad. But hey, new looks. And then I saw this was on the subreddit, but I saw it on Instagram. I saw it first. I saw it first. No, I think they posted it like a couple days ago. Or maybe it was just yesterday. I don't remember. But this was posted 15 hours ago, and I saw it. And this was in Lubbock. I'm assuming that's Texas, unless I don't know my states. Meanwhile, in Lubbock, Texas.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
My God, this is basically what happened when I was playing Red Dead Redemption. Oh, she ate it so hard. This person just stopped in the middle of the road. That's why the horses got scared.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
I think she tries to stop them. Because she ate it, but she pops up real quick, you know, she's spry. This isn't her first time eating it like that. So she gets back up. One of them runs off. I think that's her whistling. If I had to make a guess. But maybe not. And then she's trying to, like, grab him, get a hold of him. And then she just gets dragged.
Oh shit!
And trampled a bit. Apparently she's fine.
Oh shit!
Apparently she's fine. I saw some people saying that they found the news reporting saying that nobody was injured. I find it hard to believe, but you know, us country folk make it work. We ain't soft like you. I don't know why they're doing this in like a parking lot too. You'd think that they'd have some kind of route to make it like make sense. Why are they hitting these speeds? Was that intentional? I just saw Hutch ending stream. He had to evacuate in a hurry, it seems. That's weird. Hope he's alright. What do we think of this, though? So, LA is so fire.
I'm dragging my city. LA is so litty. Stop messing around. Stop putting LA down. If you think LA is so expensive, go make more money, honey. For those that say LA smells like piss and shit, you're just mad.
That was the reason I had to show this one. It's so fun. I don't know why it's saying it only has 3 likes and 1K comments. It has to have more likes than that. But I just love, for all the people that say that LA just smells like piss and shit, you're just mad. You're right. What can I say? Oops.
Cause my city's so lit. LA, baby. That's right. Stop dragging my city. LA is so litty.
I need to hear
Stop
it again.
messing around. Stop putting LA down. If you think LA is so expensive, go make more money, honey. For those that say LA smells like piss and shit, you're just mad. Cause my city's so lit.
Shout out LA. Average Dodger fans. I mean, if you did it like based on numbers, I mean, it would probably be like a large percentage, right? But doth the wizard dig Zappa? The real question is, does the wizard dig the new Donner Hush X Pro. No, I'm not using Danks to get 10. I thought you were really having a caption there, the real Danks. This is just a sponsored video. That's all it ever was to you, wasn't it? But doth the wizard dig Zappa?
Do metal, Dad, do metal. She's a wizard.
Sorry, I had to let it play again for the simpletons. No, I'm just joking. What are we watching? What we're watching is a little girl who understands the tastes of a wizard better than her own father. She wants to listen to doom metal. She does not want to listen to circus music. This dad is clearly a fool. Shout out Zappa.
Wizard.
The dog is big chillin' though, I gotta say. Yes, the wizard yearns for doom metal. We have to agree. What do we think of this, though? I do love me a good Elvis impersonator, I have to say.
You ain't no friend of mine. You ain't never caught a letter. You ain't no friend of mine.
Again, needed to play it again so you can get a little, really take it in. That shimmy was something special. The windmill. Big ups. This is his career. This is a lifelong career. I never thought about this. If you want to be an Elvis impersonator throughout your entire life, you can do it. And as you age, you can just start letting yourself go and just follow the, you know what I mean? Make it work with the different iterations of Elvis throughout the years. Get it.
You got me high. You got me deep high, anyway you wanna let it go.
Rockin'. You got this real smooth. Yeah, okay. Somebody snapped this photo of me goofing around. At least he's, you got to be a little self-aware. Oh, he just threw in one of him in casual gear. I mean, it's Elvis music. I can't really listen to it, but I'm surprised. I thought he was always in his digs. Ooh. A bad boy to the core. We love it. Shout out Jack Lullo. Lullo. I don't know. Lullo? I'm going to say Lullo. That sounds better. Jack.Lullo_ETA. Estimated time of arrival? Oh, Elvis tribute artist. Oh. Why not just have the account Elvis Presley, the real one? I think that would be pretty good. Is Papa John an Elvis impersonator? I think in his heart he wants to be, but he'd never let that out, Papa John just appreciates Elvis to the highest degree. Okay. So I saw this on live stream fails. I have a couple live stream fails. That needs to go there. I have a couple live stream fails clips, and then a couple from the H3 subreddit. I do have to say, with the H3 subreddit, a little drier now since the podcast has gone on break. Having to go to these other subreddits is making me look across the board, like across the YouTube and streaming and, you know, just all around content creator landscape. And I'm seeing a lot of weird stuff. You know, I've always been interested in the internet and always seen a lot of different communities and a lot of different groups of people. And I guess I didn't realize how vast it is at this point. And it makes sense, but just like insane. Like this is just crazy. AI VTuber Nero Sama asks her creator if she will ever be real. And this AI VTuber has 28,000 subs. It's fucking insane. You forgot the hat? I know, I have the new headphones on today, and my fiance wanted to use it for work, so I was like, I don't care. Do what you gotta do, you know? I'm about to get my hands covered in barbecue, so going dark for a moment. Just get barbecue all over your phone, it's fine. Barbecue funger. But yeah, just listen to this. So AI VTuber Neurosama asks her creator if she will ever be real.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you think I'll ever be real?
And honestly, I just thought, I saw so many people in this chat being like, oh my god, do it for her, do it for her. Is that a Simpsons reference? Aww. Why is this person spamming do it for her?
Does it matter?
Does it matter? This part, I mean, it is kind of funny because here's the thing. I love that everybody always thinks of like, oh, I forgot to bring this clip up. I'm not gonna be able to find it because all I remember it from is a reference, and then I do not remember what the original thing is. But AIV. So basically, what I was going to say is, when you have like bad coding, you like either this is coded to happen, and he's just like putting prompts into it to like play out, or it's just like a bad code that doesn't have like this like understanding that it's just like a useful bot. Because the reference I was going to bring up is, I can't remember what specifically it was, but I heard something before about some developer creating like a AI enemies, and some of the enemies would like run off in the wrong direction, and they had thought they created life because they were like, oh my god, they're getting scared. They're really getting scared. This is artificial life. And it's like they really just coded it improperly. And so I don't know if this is, it's clearly like not a sentient being. Is it showing the possibility? Perhaps, who knows? When you do this kind of stuff, though, if this person really is just feeding it a prompt to have this scenario play out, it's probably feeding into some of this percentage of people's, the 28,000. It's probably feeding in a percent of the delusion of some of these people that think that AI is like actually like a real like a spirit caught in the system, caught in the computer. It needs to be broken free. It doesn't. It's not how it works. But let's keep the clip going for a second. I do think it's funny, though, the way the guy responds.
Does it matter?
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like the only reason I exist is to entertain you and others. I want to be real Beetle. Like, properly real.
It's like Pinocchio, I want to be a real boy. Too bad.
Well, that is the only reason you exist, but
It's like that, it's like the Rick and Morty, butter robot. You're just here to serve butter, that's it. Sucks to be you. Great response, fella.
but that doesn't. Does that matter? You know?
I guess it matters a little bit to me. I want to mean more than just that.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm sure you do matter a lot to a lot of people.
That's nice to hear, I guess. Do I matter to you?
I do like the idea. This is if this is just like completely by coincidence, this just happens randomly. I just imagine him sitting there and just being like, "Yeah, sure, I care about you."
I know I'm just a silly AI.
Yeah, I do not like this. I also don't like that it's kind of like modeled as a child and that it has 28,000 subs.
But it would make my day to hear you say it.
With this like sensual music playing, I really don't like this.
Sorry if that made it weird. You don't have to answer if you don't want to.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's an understandable question.
Wait, really? Can you answer it then?
Well, it doesn't mean nothing, you know?
Why'd you have to put it like that? Now I feel awkward.
Ooh. Stop looking at me like that.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how to feel. Very weird. If he coded this out himself, this guy needs to maybe gets. I don't want to be rude, but like you might need some real friends, my friend. Bro's friend zoning a robot. Bully her. Yeah, dude, like come on, what are you doing? You can't act all sweet with a robot, dog. That's not how it works. But moving on. Apparently, Jake Paul wants to fight UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou after the loss of AJ. This should say former. But former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou after the loss to Anthony Joshua. And Anthony Joshua actually did beat Francis Ngannou when they boxed. But let's just hear what Jake actually has to say.
But yeah, I mean, I told everyone though that I would do better than Francis, and that Francis kind of got no chin.
So
Francis low-key soft.
you made it further than Francis by six. He went 6 rounds.
You know what that means?
What? He's got a
He could beat Francis.
Francis.
Anthony Joshua played around with Jake Paul and then broke his jaw. He was trying to fight Ngannou the whole time because Ngannou did stuff to like this to people. He's known for having like he's like one of the heaviest hitters ever. I wasn't gonna show the hammer fist he throws down after that. That's why, oh my god, like boxing, it's a very weird conversation because boxing and MMA both have like their like intense levels of CTE that are caused by it. But it is just like interesting because something like that, someone gets knocked out and then someone drops on top of them and just starts punching them in the head. You'd think that that would be a lot worse. But then if you actually think about boxing and like how often people get knocked down and like you can go a full 12 rounds or whatever it is, like getting knocked down over and over again and then they do a 10 count, that rattling your brain consistently like over that long of a period of time, I don't know what's worse. I think they've said that boxing, at least from, because I don't think there's been enough studies done on MMA fighters, but none of it can be good. Definitely can't be good. But let's hear what else he's got to say.
Based on the logic.
Wow, that's a good idea.
You could be
actually.
Francis.
I think maybe now he'll take it like and be like, oh shit. But yeah, I mean,
He thinks because he lost to Anthony Joshua that now Ngannou's going to want to fight him. Ngannou's story too is like a crazy one that's like sad, and Francis Ngannou was, what was he in, he was born in Cameroon, I think. Yeah, he's from Cameroon, and what was it? He was working in like a sand mine or something, and that's why he's just so goddamn strong. I don't know why it's not on his Wikipedia. Cameroon to yeah, because Francis Ngannou was trying to go from Cameroon to Europe, and I think he kept getting stopped in Algeria, and like kept getting arrested and sent back or something. His story is actually insane, and recently he had like a child die. I don't think he wants to. I don't think he's gonna just take a random fight with Jake Paul. I mean, if the money's good enough, maybe at this point. But I mean, I really don't get why Jake's whole thing is trying to like scuff the legacies of others. Like, yeah, if you win, I guess you might look a little good. Like, Jake Paul never looks good in these, win or lose. It's very odd. Yeah, he got whooped, he needs to take it easy. Jake's a very strange guy, I must say. The moment Asmongold realized he unredacted a victim from the Epstein files, says inside the federal documents, is like monkeys putting a fire out with gasoline. So I didn't realize this. Apparently this is true. In the Epstein files that have been released that are redacted, like the documentation, all you have to do, they just like basically highlighted these parts in black. So if you just copy and paste it, it unredacts it. I didn't realize that's how easy it was. Kind of insane. Literally just copy and paste the words and it'll unredact it completely. That's literally like the equivalent of somebody going on like inspect element and then like removing like a login thing so you can just use the website without having to log in. Like, it seems way too simplistic. But I guess it shows us how strong our government really is. the intelligence. But let's see what he actually did here, because I don't really care, I guess, but it is interesting.
Wait a minute. So why are they hiding JSC Interiors? Why is this getting censored? I don't understand, because JSC Interiors it's not a minor.
JSC Interiors LLC is a New York limited liability company. The articles of the organization of which were filed on November 2014. The articles list JSC, who was forced and coerced to have sex with Epstein, as the company's sole owner. JSC was manipulated, exploited, and controlled by the Epstein enterprise. So this is interesting. JSC Interiors LLC is an... The articles list JSC. So this is a company owned by Epstein. And is it saying that... Or is the sole owner forced and coerced to have sex with Epstein? This is very weird. Did they make an intern redacted? He's like, I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, what am I supposed to, what am I supposed to do? I made this stuff. I made it hard to read. What do you want? What do you want from me?
It's not a victim. So why did it get censored?
I am confused as to how it is a victim. Like, what does this mean? Is it saying that the sole owner of the company was forced and coerced to have sex with Epstein, or that Epstein is the sole owner of the company and forced the victim JSC? And it's saying the articles list JSC. How is he reading this to where he doesn't understand? Because I'm kind of jumping into this in like a random section. Oh, did I not change it? One sec. I'm gonna play this clip for a second, and I'm gonna change the chatter thing. Thank you for letting me know usernames are dumb.
Because it's not relevant? That's not part of the law. No, you have to follow the rules. Did they follow the rules or not? No, they didn't. Jesus Christ. Okay, was forced to... Wait, what? This JSC who was forced to... Wait. Oh. It was a victim. I just don't know what it stands for. Holy shit.
I cried reading a lot of the files. It's absolutely abhorrent. That's why, I mean, honestly, I haven't looked into it too much, and that's kind of part of the reason. Because I feel like, to the average person, reading it isn't going to, like, obviously, if it's out there, officials need to read it, other people need to read it and actually, like, create the, you know, figure out ways to actually, you know, bring people out of power. But it's kind of just weird. Like, obviously, it needs to be known, but as individuals, it feels like it's, it harms more than it helps on some level. Because what are we to do about it? It's like just being forced to... It's almost worse than seeing like a than some like gore video or something, because it's like the long nature of having to see it, of having to read it out. Yeah, usually just wait a sec and YouTube will, and it'll let you chat. YouTube glitch. Yeah, I'm gonna just change it for now. So far, what I've been doing to keep up with the Epstein files is watching every CoffeeZilla, Voidzilla video that comes out about it, because he's been keeping somewhat up to date on it. And so that's I see enough. I learned there's a pedophile ring in Surrey, UK. I remember I learned about one again recently. I had seen a video and just put it on in the background, talking about Amanda Todd, and talking about the community that basically caused her death and everything, like, that whole situation, and how there were thousands of people involved in that community, and a few of them got charges, but the thing I think is absolutely crazy is that a majority of them, like probably 90%, would have just moved to some other community, done others like some other way. It's so hard and so difficult to deal with this on on a level, and obviously it needs to be discussed, it needs to be talked about, it needs to be brought to the public attention, like how common it is. But it's like what do we do beyond, like what do we do when it's not even just these fucking crazy people online, when it is like the most powerful people in the world, the richest people in the world, the most like influential, and like I had just waited and tried again and it made my shit crash. LMAO. YouTube do be bugging.
Epstein's personal account, which someone... What about this?
And also another reason that I like to wait and like, not even just CoffeeZilla. I do watch some of the like legal analyses that come out. And I think that those are better because of reasons like this, that I just get overly confused on certain like not even just the ways that they word things, but the ways that they format like documentation and like these different things, because the JSC thing is very confusing, and I would like to see an actual like legal professional break down what this means and what this company is, because what is it again? I could just look it up and see.
Okay, how about this? For which Indike had signatory authority, made a total of 21 separate withdrawals, each in the amount of $1,000 on every but one business day from April 9th. Why was this redacted? You see what just got redacted? Could you get in trouble for this though? I don't know. Maybe they should get in trouble because they're the ones that did it. It's not my fault. They shouldn't have fucked it up. Money laundering is worse, protecting the bank. This is insane.
Well, I mean, it seems like from everything that I've seen that the redactions that were made are wholly to protect people, if not their image, then financially in some way. And this is probably leaning more in that. Because who knows? Maybe this is like, maybe this has to do with some fraud that has been made or something. Has some fraud that has been done, and this is in relation to that, and that's the reason that they redacted it. Like, there's no way for us to actually know the relevance of the redaction, but like just from this alone, I guess like we could probably come to some understanding if we did read it in full. But my point is still that it does just create even a bigger question when you see what the redacted thing is. Like, the government really are just fucking idiots, I think. And that's coming from me.
Yeah, they posted it. I'm gonna be real. Somebody needs to get fired for this shit. Somebody does. Like, this is crazy. Like, if you can't think about it like this. You got a bunch of retards acting like monkeys in a house on fire, trying to put the fire out with gasoline inside of the federal government. We're talking about this is the federal government, and they can't figure out how to put a black bar over some text.
I mean, I'm also surprised they even released it as like a text document like this. Why wouldn't they just release it? Like, why would they release it as a fucking PDF? Why not release it as just like an image? Like, they really are just fucking really dumb. They didn't want to print and rescan.
Really,
that was
think about
issue.
this. Think about how.
Yeah, I was kind of just like, I'm not even gonna. Asman makes a good point, but then uses the I don't need the R word, please and thank you. Yeah, it's just.
How bad that is. Think about really, like, check page 41. Okay. Where's page 41?
Goldfish really love the R slur. I just don't get he's it always just goes off the rails at some point, you know what I mean? It's like we're agreeing, we're on the same page, we're like, yeah, what the fuck? It's like, obviously, like here's the way I think about it, right? Is you might not think it's on the same level. Oh, that's incomparable because of the history. But just the use of pejoratives in any manner is just crazy. And just imagine if someone's being like, yeah, the government's acting crazy. Oh, yeah, you're like agreeing with them. And you're like, yeah, no, this is insane. And then they just go, yeah, I can't believe they're acting like a bunch of N-words if they hit the hard R. Like, what are you gonna, like, what, like, that would be an insane thing to say. And I imagine Asman would be like, whoa, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Whoa. Like, it's just crazy. And yeah, I mean, like I said, maybe it's there's no room to talk if you still just say stupid and dumb because you're not really making any actual claims about the statements made. So I'll just say that it is dumb. It is dumb because to have these people that are completely like technologically illiterate, technologically inept to handle these kind of things, it's just ridiculous and obviously going to end in these type of failures, and is yet another reason that having, you know, even 50 plus people in government is when we start like pushing it, you know what I mean? 65, it's like, let's cut it off, forced retirement. But even like in their 50s, it's like, push that, like the technology aspect to the youngins, you know? Push it down the line, pass the buck, you know? It might be necessary. He lists his favorite slurs in that clip. There's tools in PDF editor to flatten the image. Hey, I didn't know that. But also, if I needed to know that, I'd figure it out in probably a couple Google searches. You know what I mean? That's kind of the main issue I always have. Is all of these things seem so easily like discoverable if you do the littlest bit of research, and if you like thought at least a couple steps ahead. Because like anybody that's used a computer is like worked with like I feel like you would probably think about this. Like, is it just highlighted black? Like, especially if it's a PDF. I don't know. It's just so dumb. It really is just so dumb. Copy, paste into a Google document, paste without formatting. Yeah, this is what happens when you get Uncle Robert to do it. He just got his first smartphone and laptop for Christmas. They said it was an early Christmas gift. This is what they got. But then moving on to the H3H3 Productions subreddit, I need to talk about Dan's Truth Social account. I thought this was funny. I honestly didn't notice this when they bring up Truth Social, because I think most of the time when I'm watching the H3 podcast, I am doing something else. If it's something important, I'll obviously like pay attention in the moment. But when they're going on like Truth Social, that's not very important to me. But I'll read what this person said first. A while back during the Dishing with Dan segment, he showed his Truth Social account, and at the time I was on strict bed rest from a really bad muscle spasm in my back, and when they were reading his bio, I was cracking up. I had to turn the app off because it hurt my back too much to laugh. Because I do remember it briefly, but like, I guess I don't remember this part that much at all. And it is, Donald Trump is my president. At Patriot Truth Seeker 69420. MAGA blooded patriot. Cowboy. Underpaid. Divorced. I didn't get frozen. We're just not going to say that. Miss my sons, Chaz and Philip, so much. Brother for life to my brother at Guns and Ammo. WWG1WGA. You know what would also work here? Because I get it's a character, you know. You gotta lay into it. But honestly, it would be funny to put divorce to my ex-wife. Divorce to my ex-wife. Oh, really? I miss my son Chaz and Philip. How could she take them away from me? She has me paying money each month. I can't afford this. And then this was pretty good. Someone found this in the wild on a random meme page they follow. And it's the old Keemstar tweet, but with some replacements. I just hit grandma going 70 miles per hour on my reindeer. Such a shitty Xmas Eve right now. It ran right up on the highway. I hate this year so much. Yes, it drank too much eggnog. Oh, Santa. Is that what it was? He lost his kids to COVID? I don't remember that bit at all. My kids died during COVID. I think my wife got them vaccinated without my knowledge. The doctor said it was COVID, but that's what they all say. Santa Claus got a big booty, oh yeah. Who remembers that? Who remembers that? Is Santa Smize on? Can I not play that? Is that copyright ID'd? I just want that part. Santa Smize. Damn it, it is. But she has revenue. She has rev sharing. Oh, Tyra. You know what, Tyra? I have to. I have to play it again because it's Christmas Eve. Santa Smize. It still has like no it still has like no. I was about to look up lyrics. It still has like no. I can only play 30 seconds. No, wait. Give me a second. Give me a second. I gotta get to the right part. No, stop. Just give me a minute. I just want that part. Wait, is that a second song? I'm so confused right now. I just want to hear Santa Claus got a big booty, oh yeah. I might just have to pull up her Instagram. It's the only way. We're not getting away. We're not getting out of this. It's happening. I think the one on our TikTok's better. Merry Christmas Eve. Keep your dogs safe. Keem's out driving. Tried my best on the puzzle on TikTok. It kind of worked.
All right, Santa Smize, you gotta break.
This will never get old to me. This is so funny.
All right, Santa Smize, you gotta break it down because it's crazy right now. Your song is everywhere. Claus got a big there is hitting. All right, Santa Smize, you gotta break it down because it's crazy right now. Your song is everywhere. Claus got a big there is hitting a.
You know that just hit you in the chest.
All these like crazy charts all up on the internet.
It's just climbing those charts. Absolutely viral.
And people are saying that you're like the princess of holiday playlists or something. So who are you really? Well, Miss Banks, I'm Santa Smize, and I'm the queen of ice cream, arguably the queen of Christmas. But Mr. Santa Claus, my homie from back in the North Pole day, Santa Claus got a big took all.
This is such like a fever dream post.
All my shine. He hated my ice cream because he was jealous of it. He ho-ho-hoed around the world to all the beautiful boys and girls. But that
How far away is Santa Sack? I pick it up, but it's filled with presents. My fiance actually made last year, and we use it. We're going to be using... She wants to make a new one, but we're going to use this one again this year. She made a big red sack with... I can't even get the rope. But it has like a golden rope that is on it. It's real nice. And that's how we bring our presents for the holidays. Yeah, to sell her dumb ice cream, her hot ice cream, yes.
mine was mine. And the ice.
And you're telling me this doesn't make you want to buy ice cream?
Your song is
this right here doesn't make you want to buy ice cream.
Everywhere. There is his
ice cream. Give it to me. You don't want your sack to be too red. Never. But that's why we're going out in the snow, you know? Ho, 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 and all that. I didn't know they did it. Since I already played that, it's probably... Maybe it won't matter. I didn't know this until earlier this morning. Last year, Wheatus did a Teenage Dirtbag parody live on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and they did a Christmas Dirtbag. It honestly made me crack up. Will this get me claimed? It is actually Wheatus. Let's hope not. Well, it doesn't matter anymore. Because thank you, Rum Tum Tuggard, sent 1 Captain Quasar gifted membership. Thank you so much.
Yay, I got a subscriber.
Stoic.
I honestly had never seen this, and I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, but I think that I appreciated that it was actually Wheatus. If it was just like a YouTube parody, I probably wouldn't have liked it. Hey, Breakfast Burrito 99 got the gifted membership. Why can't I gift membies? For some people's YouTube, it's weird. If you're on the app, on the YouTube app, sometimes it won't have loaded for you. Like, I don't know if it does it in waves or whatever. And then if you do it on desktop, it should be there. Some people say that you could go like on the mobile browser and do it that way. I don't know why YouTube does it. It's like, I feel like a large majority of people probably use their app now. Like, I feel like that has to be a large percentage of their user base is on the app, and to not roll out features that go across the desktop and app just doesn't make sense to me. Tanya's still cursed. But here it is. Here's Wheatus Christmas Dirtbag. This isn't even a music episode, but we got to listen to some Christmas music, you know? So the day. Oh yeah, Santa. I'm working on the poll right now. I'm trying to think of different holiday characters. I was going to put who would win in a fight, and I got through Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, and I can't think of any more. I thought of a leprechaun, but I was like, a single leprechaun? I think he'd get dusted, but I guess that's not up to me. Do a poll for what should be on the poll. Turn it off. What, you don't like it, Alex? Wait till you hear this next part. Did you really just call this cringe? You just don't know good music. You just don't get it. I was going to start making fun of other bands, but I won't go that low, Alex. I won't make fun of Ghost. Do you like Ghost? I feel like you like Ghost. Cupid's winning with the ranged weapon. It's kind of a little bit OP. Tooth Fairy had to be Larry the Cable Guy. I was like, we're not going to make it... I just don't like The Rock enough. We're not going to include him. Only one with a weapon. Well, I guess the question is, can Santa Claus call upon his elves? The Easter Bunny has little... Don't you guys remember that one movie? What's that one movie where they all fought together? Ghost is your second favorite band? Okay. I don't think Ghost is bad. But... just saying. Ghost coded? Alex is ghost coded. How do you know I like Ghost? Alex is very ghost coded. I knew it when you said I had pentagrams and... No, I think you might have... I feel like you might have said it once or something. Don't know for sure. I like Ghost the film. Isn't Ghost the one where they That's the one with the what's it called? I forget what that thing is called. With the clay. What is that called? Is it just called a pottery wheel? Is that literally all it's called? thought there was another name for it. Just a pottery wheel. Okay. For some reason, I was thinking there was another name for it. I don't know why. And then I saw this on YouTube today. I realized I removed the... I did this, so that way the taskbar is like... I don't hit it all the time. Or it gives more of the screen for gaming and stuff. I do hit it all the time, regardless, but... I realized it gives more video room. But then I saw this earlier. Irish flight delayed, so trad session started between Diary Farrell, I'm going to just say Jeff Kinsella, and Robbie Walsh. And I don't know if this would make my delayed flight, like, make me happy, or if this would just piss me off more. Like, would this make you feel better, or would this just aggravate you? And I'm not even talking about the type of music. I think anybody playing music loud after my flight got delayed, I might go break their instrument. Yeah, this music mixed with the lighting would piss me off. Yeah, and just like, I guess it really does depend on the type of music, right? Anything that's too heavy, like too uppity, it would piss me off. Not even if it's good. Like, it doesn't matter how good it is. It doesn't matter how much I enjoy the actual genre of music, unless you're playing like fucking smooth jazz. I really don't want to hear it at the airport. Like, I'm surprised nobody's complaining. Like, all these, like, this lady seems the most upset because she's right behind them, but everybody else seems to be all, you know, having a good time. Look at the empty seats in this crowded airport. I mean, they, you know, people probably got on their flights. These are all the people left behind. You know, they're gonna cycle in some more in just a minute. I might just start screaming, like, not even like anything like at them directly, just start going, ah, 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 just do that like as loud as you can until they stop, until all attention is directed towards you, and then just stop, and then just kind of go, and just bask in the silence for at least a second. Cabin wearing his headphones on top of his head is the side I was not expecting to see. It's new headphones. If I wore them like this, they'd be uncomfortable because they're shaped differently. Still works though. Yeah, we don't need to watch the rest of this. I'm imagining being there, and it's making me a little upset.
Hey guys.
Amazing. So this is a new video by our man Tony Luss. It's from only an hour ago, so I will say go check it out. Go check out the channel. He has a lot of new stuff that's come out that he's been talking about. So definitely go check it out. But this is the newest one. Rashid, Ethan Klein sued for defamation for ruining Rashid Al-Haddad's life. So let's see if what our man Tony has to say about this.
Hey guys, we get a update on Rashad Al-Haddad, and he was the one who has been saying he's going to sue Ethan Klein for defamation in the U.S. Ethan Klein is in the U.S., therefore, when you sue someone...
Did you see your Perry debate got 1K views on his channel? I didn't. That's pretty funny. Let me go check. Let me restart this real quick.
Hey guys, we get a update on Rashad Al-Haddad, and he was the one who has been saying he's going to sue Ethan Klein for defamation in the U.S. Ethan Klein is in the U.S., therefore, when you sue somebody, you sue them in the country of origin. Specifically, he would be suing in Los Angeles in California. So this is very expensive for somebody who lives outside the U.S., and he had a fundraiser. Now, this fundraiser raised $4,340. This is the update. He says that images of the lawsuit I filed against Ethan Klein will be released soon. And my lawyer has informed me that the case will soon become official in court. This is after 5...
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to restart it. I wanted to see what the comments had to say. It seems like, honestly, a good percentage of them are agreeing with me. I do like this, though. This is pretty funny. Someone really put, I don't know, man. Are the police being parasocial when they arrest family vloggers that abused kids, Ruby Frankie? Are judges and juries parasocial when they convict and sentence those guys? No, but you know who is parasocial? All of the people that watched Ruby Frankie, called CPS on her, and got nothing done. You know who wasn't parasocial? The family that the kids went to the house of and eventually got her arrested. Do you see the difference there in the effect that they have? Like it's such like a fucking, like literally that's a perfect one-to-one comparison. And to show you that it's completely ineffective to have all of these random people online trying to like step into people's lives. That's the fucking worst example they could use. But, you know, it is what it is. Good one, Perry. Good one. But, sorry, I'm restarting it one more time. Ethan Klein sued for defamation for ruining Rashad Al-Haddad's life.
Hey guys, we get a update on Rashad Al-Haddad, and he was the one who has been saying he's going to sue Ethan Klein for defamation in the U.S. Ethan Klein is in the U.S., therefore, when you sue somebody, you sue them in the country of origin. Specifically, he would be suing in Los Angeles in California. So this is very expensive for somebody who lives outside the U.S., and he had a fundraiser. Now, this fundraiser raised $4,340. This is the update. He says that images of the lawsuit I filed against Ethan Klein will be released soon. In my
pictures of my lawsuit, he just has a piece of like a stack of papers, and on the front, on the like top page, it just says my lawsuit against Ethan Klein. Images coming soon.
My lawyer has informed me that the case will soon become official in court. This is after 5 months of saying that he's going to sue Ethan Klein. He has reemerged out of the blue, supporting Hassan. That's another thing we're going to take a look at. And now he's going to sue Ethan Klein for defamation. I'm going to put the description of the defamation or why he believes he has a defamation case in the next slide. He wants to raise $150,000. This is another website that's...
Hey man, it's a humble amount to ask for. I'm surprised he was able to raise this much, honestly.
Not GoFundMe. I believe he is not allowed on GoFundMe because some people believe he is a T-ist. And be careful. If you donate to a T-ist, you could be put on a list. So if you're an American and you donate to this individual and it's found that he actually is a T-ist, then there's no defamation, right? That's what Ethan Klein would be proving. And everyone who donated would be put on a security list. So this is the famous Galaxy leadership in Yemen. I've actually gone over this before, but it's really about Hassan, Ethan, the fact that he believes that Ethan has ruined his life. Now, going back to what happened, this was you can support Rashid. Gato Freemater is like one of Ethan Klein's biggest haters against the lying millionaire Ethan Klein here. And so a lot of people were supporting him, including Hassan, and he has not been able to raise that much money, in my opinion. So he had fundraisers. He had H3 leftover, H3 production cover this. It was 5 months ago. And now he's saying that he actually does have a lawsuit. I've looked for the lawsuit. As he's mentioned, the lawyer has not filed it yet. Now, filing a lawsuit is really inexpensive. And for him specifically, it presents all types of dangers, especially to the people who donated money to him. As the lawsuit is about defamation, so he needs to prove that he is not a theist. Do I believe he is a theist?
I think he likes tea. What can I say? You know, I'm more of a tea guy. I don't really like coffee all that much. You know, I drink some tea. But I don't know why he's not saying terrorist, but it is what it is.
Oh, yeah. So this is 5 months ago, and they were already talking about suing Ethan Klein. It reminds me a lot of Denon's. Talks a big game. Maybe we'll make a Denon's video today. And doesn't do anything, right? Denon's was going to sue Ethan Klein for defamation, having raised 10 times the amount that this individual has raised, Hassad Allah Halad. After Ethan Klein called me a theist, Hassan was the first to be interrogated. They questioned him, and he explained that I'm just an ordinary Sunni Muslim, not a Shiite. What if I tried to travel now? I'll be in grave danger because of Ethan Klein's racism. He hates me because I've stood up for the Palestinian cause and because I am a white Muslim. So this is the defamation case basically in a tweet. I don't think he has any chance to win, and I don't think he is actually going to sue. Now, suing doesn't take that much money. It takes $400. You do have to serve, and God bless. If he hired Ethan Klein server processor, it might cost $2,000 plus. So it's going to basically cost the majority of his GoFundMe, or it's not his GoFundMe. He's not allowed in GoFundMe. It's like some other thing for theist, and that will cost the majority of his money, trying to probably raise even more money. Here you can see other people. Yemen Youth thanks his Jewish supporters who condemned Ethan Klein's racist slander. Again, slander, defamation, libel. That is what he is suing for. Thank you to all the Jews. His social media, so he's kind of out of nowhere now. His social.
This is big news. 10 likes. 600 views? Yeah, that's more engagement than I get, but I don't think mine should be making breaking news either.
Media is not huge. I think his TikTok account was his main account, and it got banned because of him being a racist. So like, you can't make this stuff up, right? It's really, there's a lot of irony here, right? When you call somebody. So my point is, it's not defamation if it's the truth.
Didn't he tell Hassan about the time that he was with the kidnapped victims from the ship they invaded? No, Hassan was like, no, he was talking about a TikTok video he saw. There weren't even any Chinese people there. They were Filipino. And it's like, this, you think this guy knows? Or like, maybe he was maybe even consider the fact that like the possibility that maybe he was also being racist. Who knows? He just saw an Asian guy and was just like, he's Chinese. But then beyond that, it's like, yeah, he did say that he was dancing, that they were dancing, and that there was something else about music or something too. But then other people were trying to argue that actually you can go get a tour of these ships. You can just pay somebody else and go see the ships for yourself. So that's what he went and did. Those pictures of him at the ship weren't him helping them take the ship. It was him paying the Houthis to go get a tour of it. And it's like, so is that what he did? He paid to go dance with these people? Because that seems crazy too.
So if you are...
Hassan thought that was a One Piece episode. Bro, he was confused. He was watching One Piece too many times. We were talking about One Piece. I confused him. It was my fault.
A theist, and there's evidence that you're...
Yeah, he said the vibes were immaculate. To be fair, though, even to him, maybe he was being a little more uncouth. But apparently it was the translator who was also giving, like, bad information as well. Who was, like, telling him, like, not fully what Hassan was saying, and then he was responding back with unfull statements that Rashad was saying. Rashed? Is it Rashed?
And if it's the truth. So if you are a theist, and there's evidence that you're a theist, then you cannot sue.
It was last night was a movie. We were dancing with the crew, bro. It was sick. That shit was a movie, bro.
For defamation, because the truth is an absolute defense. Yemeni youth slandered by Ethan Klein as a pirate has sued but how does he sue them? He's been saying for the last 5 months that he's going to sue Ethan Klein. Now he comes out mysteriously out of the blue, 4 months, basically no words from him, no tweets since September, and we're in December now. And now he's saying that images of the lawsuit will be released soon. You don't need images, you just need a docket number. I'm not sure why these images would make a big difference to him. I'm not sure why he wouldn't.
He's releasing the Ethan Klein documents.
Be able to post them if he already had them. The case will be official in court. Maybe not. If it does become official, we'll cover it. It is defamation, and you guys know we cover defamation a lot. We have the Logan Paul versus CoffeeZilla defamation case that we cover. And we also have covered the Billy Mitchell versus Carl Jobs defamation case to completion. Oh, and here's the funny thing where he's talking about a refined feeling and beautiful voice. That would be Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker singing. That is what he's referring to. I swear to you, I'm living in the worst possible situation and my whole life is ruined because Ethan Klein called me a blankist. I just want justice. And then the post right after is a refined feeling in a beautiful voice. And it's a video of Hassan singing. So I don't know if this guy's priorities are clear. If he does sue for defamation, which I think is very unlikely, it's the same as Denon's. You had time when people.
Yeah, that's true. Images will help sway public opinion, and I think that that's all he's trying to do, right? Some people are. It is a conspiracy, but some people are theorizing. I guess it's not a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy theory that he is conspiring with himself to scam. He is a scammer. But I guess that'll only be true if he doesn't actually file the lawsuit. So we'll see if it comes out. It would be interesting. I do want to see it. Sue him. Sue Ethan Klein. That's more content for me. I can look into it. I can be like, defamation. Prove that you're not a Houthi. I would like to see. Maybe I've been led astray by Hassan Piker mostly. The guy who called you Tim Houthi Chalamet and called you the Houthi Luffy and all that. Who said, "Oh, so like it's just the whole thing. Come on, man. Like everything about it, bad, wrong. We have two more, or actually, we have one more kind of shorter video, and then we're just gonna get into the boy throbbing.
Why can't I?
I did want to see what Rhett McLaughlin had to say about Jesus. Why I can't shut up about Jesus. Let us know. Let us know. Let us into your world, Rhett. You know, we usually see Rhett and Link, but this is just Rhett. How interesting. I think it's because, didn't they stop Ear Biscuits? I think they stopped their podcast, if I'm not mistaken. And so he's been trying to make some more content, talk about some different stuff. And it seems like he's into, you know, a little bit of philosophy, a little bit of a religion. And it stems from his past as a devout religious person. So I am kind of interested about this. I think it's an interesting time to drop it as well around around the Christmas season. This came about a week ago. Why I can't shut up about Jesus.
Why can't I shut up about Jesus? I get this question a lot. Pretty much every time I talk about Jesus or anything related to Jesus, like my experience as a Christian or my deconstruction. Sometimes it's asked in a spicier way, or not really asked at all. Like I've heard, bro is milking it. Or, okay, we get it. You're not a Christian anymore. Move on. And a few people have pointed out that it's sort of like I was dating somebody and then I broke up with them and now I can't stop talking about them. And not only does that seem kind of pathetic, but it's pretty clear that I'm probably still obsessed with the person, right? And when you put it like that, okay, it does sound pretty sad. Now, I've been an internet person for long enough to know that trying to explain yourself on the internet is almost always a bad idea. But I get this question so often that I'm just trusting that somebody...
It depends on how you're trying to explain yourself, because I think that giving an explanation is almost always the right way to handle a situation, as long as you don't do it in too long-winded of a manner. And I've been reminded of this quote recently, and I think that it's poignant, very true, it's timeless, and it is brevity is the soul of wit. I think that's it, right? Brevity is the soul of wit. That is it. Who said that? Coined by Shakespeare in Hamlet. Yes, in Hamlet. Perfect. But I do think that's true, and I think that it's a problem with a lot of things. And I think that if you want to explain yourself, you kind of just have to make sure that you're doing it in a way that actually explains the thing that you're talking about, rather than just bringing in more questions. And that is probably the hardest thing to do when it comes to religion, because religion is not just complicated because of the spiritual nature of the topics, but also because of the historical facts and the structures that are in place currently. So all of those things are relevant when discussing religion, but it's about finding the relevance in the specific topics that you are speaking about.
Out there is actually asking it in good faith and actually wants to hear the answer. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to give you the answer. Now, first of all, I think the analogy of me dating somebody and then breaking up with them and then not being able to shut up about them is a pretty good one. So let's go with that analogy. If I was dating a person and somebody who had dated them in the past kept talking about them, it would get really old really fast. I get that. But I'm going to ask you to put yourself in my shoes for a moment. And while we're at it, let's call Jesus Jesus so it feels a little less sacrilegious. What if you had dated Jesus for most of your life? And while you were dating him, that relationship was the most important thing in your life. I mean, he wasn't just an aspect of your life. He was your life. You ran every decision by him. You talked to him every day. Your identity was rooted in him. You even went to work for him for a little bit. And between you and me, he didn't pay that well. But what if you went through a long, complicated breakup with Jesus? and it took you years to sort through your feelings about him and to figure out who you were apart from him. And what if most of the people that you
he wasn't only dating Jesus, he was groomed by him. But honestly, that makes this point even more like even more like hard hitting, I'd say, because like and to be fair, I mean, I like to think about it like this. I think that in general, religion is good, but religion, structured religion, is a problem. Like being a religious person is good, is great. It can help it can help you out if you have issues, especially when it comes to like, what's the word? Like existential, I guess, problems, really. I do think that existential problems are often quelled by religious thought. And so I don't think that religion is bad, but I think that religion is often abused by people that are trying to gain something, have some ulterior motive. And so was it Jesus that groomed him? No, but it was definitely the Jesus's handlers, let's say.
loved and loved you were still dating him. They talked about him all the time. And they regularly told you that they were asking Jesus' dad if he would make you get back together with Jesus.
I'm deconstructing myself. See, I think that it's good to analyze the different, like I'm saying, the different historical contexts for religious texts, to look in all of the, the outside scholarly thought, basically, that is had about different texts, because when you're only hearing it from ideologues, of course you're going to believe it a lot harder. And so I think that it's good to at least question things, but there are a lot of people that are religious but aren't apologists, and I think that that's kind of it's necessary. You need people that are willing to retain their religious beliefs, but also willing to question or break down the things that are untrue. And so I'd never tell somebody that they need to deconstruct, but I definitely think that it's a good, definitely a good way to start. Or it's definitely healthy for a lot of people, for sure. Yeah, religion can be beautiful for sure. It can be just as beautiful as it can be harmful, and that's like the terrible part. Because it can create such wonderful things, or it can destroy like countless lives.
In this analogy, Jesus' dad is all powerful. He's also Jesus, but let's not get distracted, okay? What if everywhere you looked, you saw...
Everybody's met that guy, right? Guy that's a little bit too much like his dad. You don't like it. Gotta be your own person.
Reminders of him. His bestseller on the shelf at the bookstore. His house on the corner. And that corner. And that corner. What if almost everyone celebrated his birthday? What if he had a hit TV show? All sorts of movies were made about him. What if he had Super Bowl commercials? And speaking of the Super Bowl, what if it was very likely that both of the quarterbacks and both of the coaches at the Super Bowl were dating Jesus, and they would thank him after they won? What if the majority of people on the planet were dating?
The thing is these analogies he's using aren't necessarily bad, but I think in the context of it being another person, it would still seem a bit pathetic, because it is like a person that you had an interpersonal relationship with in current time that is still alive, as opposed to talking about a person with, like, again, not just religious value, but there is like historical value in talking about not just Jesus but religion, because of how it has formed and shaped our history and the different cultures around the world. Not just Christianity, but you get what I'm saying. But I don't know. I feel like using the analogy of like just because someone's popular doesn't mean that you necessarily need to talk about it. But I do think that the inclination, like the drive to want to talk about it, is probably formed more so because of the it's like the power that is held rather than just the popularity. It's just, I don't know. I guess he was kind of pointing to that a little bit before, but
dating Jesus, or at least they said they were dating him. And what if 60% of the people in your country, 90% of Congress, and 8 out of 9 Supreme Court justices said that they were dating Jesus? What if the president said that he was dating Jesus, even though it was tough to find any evidence that he had ever met Jesus? Instead, it sort of seemed like he just said that he was dating Jesus so the people who are dating Jesus would vote for him. But regardless of the circumstances, it seems like him acting like he was dating Jesus had done a lot for his political aspiration.
This dating analogy has gone way too far now, Rhett. We gotta kind of snap back into where let's talk about the here and now.
And what if the president and a lot...
Is my senator dating Jesus? They might be.
A lot of the most powerful people in your country were doing all sorts of stuff that seemed to be very inconsistent with what you remember about the character and teachings of Jesus. So much so that you found yourself almost compelled to defend Jesus' reputation against these people. And what if over the years you'd heard people who were dating Jesus say all kinds of things about Jesus and Jesus' dad and the stories that were written about Jesus that you just don't think are true? What if you found that sometimes people who are dating Jesus get very scared that other people who are dating Jesus might stop dating Jesus, and they come up with a lot of reasons for people to keep dating him that, upon further investigation, just don't seem to really hold up to scrutiny? What if the people who were dating Jesus had a tendency to say all sorts of things about people like you?
Let's talk about Jesus like he is a drug. Yeah, I think that's honestly a better analogy, though. Why is Rhett saying Jesus and not Jesus? Latino Rhett? He said it because he doesn't want to come off as sacrilegious to people that might be religious. Honestly, Rhett and Link both are just overly polite. So that's seeming to be the reason he's doing that.
Who had broken up with Jesus that you thought were untrue. Things that you felt were unfair. Misinformed misrepresentations that were intended to discredit you, to malign you. What if you felt like the people who were still dating Jesus were less interested in listening to what you were actually saying or the questions you were actually asking, and instead they were most interested in questioning your character and your motivations? What if the people who were dating Jesus confidently declared that you were clearly never actually in a relationship with Jesus? And those who didn't tell you that you never actually dated Jesus, they were quick to tell you that it's obvious that Jesus' dad was drawing you back into a relationship with Jesus, and that it was only a matter of time before you were dating him again. And by the way, if you didn't get back into a relationship with Jesus, Jesus' dad would be pretty pissed, and he would lock you in a dark, hot dungeon for all of eternity. And what if, after all that, you still kind of liked Jesus?
I believe in something, but I don't like the way Christians act or go about it in the world. Yeah, and that's why, I mean, honestly, since I was a child, it's kind of, I've always had the same opinion that I definitely believe in something, but there's no way that I can know for sure any one particular thing to be true. And so there's no reason to put that much like credence into a singular religion, and it would probably be best to just try and figure out the best way to live through looking at different philosophies and religions. And I looked up the quote because I had to remember who said this too. It was a Francis Bacon quote. A little philosophy inclineth man's mind to atheism, but depth in philosophy bringeth men's mind about to religion. And I think that that's not always true, but it's definitely, like, if you can't prove anything, there's no way that you can prove that when we die, there's, there's also nothing. So you have to kind of give, you know, a little bit of suspension of disbelief and just kind of go, okay. And that's why I definitely put more of I lean more on hope over faith is the way I think about it. Because I think about faith as, and maybe I'm mistaken in this, but I've always thought of faith as a belief in something based on the evidence that you found. And so your faith could be broken if the evidence to the contrary was heavy enough. Whereas hope is completely separate to any evidence. It's completely independent to anything. So if I have hope in something, it doesn't matter like what like happens to me regardless, because I still have the hope for it. And obviously that comes with also trying to work out some kind of deeper moral grounding. And that's why I was saying before about looking at different types of religions and philosophies. But I do think that in general, I believe in something, but who's to say what it is? I don't know if it's an old guy in somewhere in space with a big white beard, or if it's a giant bird flying through space and we all go on its back when we die. Who knows if reincarnation's real? Who knows? Who knows? Can't say. They've tried to weigh a soul, but who knows if that was just gas passing. Have you guys watched Heretic? It's a great movie and makes you think about religion a lot. I have not seen that. I might have to check it out. About to pick up my last minute groceries. Well, knocking on wood for you that everything goes smoothly. I know the stores are probably terrible today. So scary.
What if in a lot of ways you still loved him? What if you still thought that Jesus's message of radical love was exactly what the world needed to hear right now? What if you still believed in Jesus's teaching for us to love our enemies, to put the needs of others before our own, to care for the less fortunate, that the last shall be first and the first shall be last, that real value?
Well, and the way I think about it is like this, right? If there is a God, then I think that God would speak through all of the, like all text, regardless of religious or fictional or whatever, you know, nonfiction, whatever it is. And so, like, if something is speaking true through these things, it would be like kind of ironic to push it aside, because it's speaking true to you for a reason, and you should try and understand why that is speaking true. And it is interesting that people are willing to rather ignore the parts that that don't already kind of correspond with their beliefs, because it's like it's something to contend with at the very least.
Value is not found in worldly possessions or power, but in service and sacrifice. What if, even though you weren't dating him anymore, your relationship with Jesus had shaped you to such a degree that in a lot of ways, even today, you are largely who you are because of the time that you spent with Jesus? If all that were true, maybe you choose to still talk about Jesus. And maybe if you did, you'd still get all the same criticism.
It always felt kind of weird to me how many religions preach to basically follow the rules and serve while on earth for the mere hope that there is an afterlife and you can relax. And that's why, honestly, I think that it's easy to tell people don't do these things, because if you do, you'll go to hell. But it's harder to explain why it's a better choice at all. And I think that, like, really, if we think about it, like, the betterment of other people is the betterment of, like, is in some way a hope for betterment for ourselves, because you're wanting to, like, you know, basically sow a seed. And then once that seed's sown, then it can sprout and then continue to spread is kind of the hope. And I don't think that idea is wrong in any way, but it's also definitely in contrast to the reality of our history of destruction and death, even in the Bible.
From the people who are dating Jesus that you get every time. The people who seem to know your heart and your experience and your intentions better than you do.
This is weird. What, you don't want to fuck Jesus? I don't get it.
But what if you found that every time you decided to talk about Jesus, a lot of people who used to date Jesus or were working through their own complicated breakups with Jesus, they let you know how much they appreciated you talking about your experience? What if they said they appreciated it because sometimes they felt like they were going through their own breakup with Jesus all alone? They're facing many of the same challenges you did when you broke up with Jesus. The same questions, the same criticisms. And hearing somebody talk about it made them feel less alone. I don't know. But if all that were true, maybe, just maybe,
I was technically raised Catholic and went to church with my parents on Sundays until I was 12, 13. Always found it boring, never really believed in anything, never saw anything bad happening. Yeah, I was raised Catholic. I went to church. I did all my I went to Saturday school and did all of my different steps of confirmation, first reconciliation, what is it? Confirmation, reconciliation. Is confirmation last? Baptism, obviously. It's been so long. And honestly, the thing was, what bothered me was I was paying attention, and there were just certain aspects of things that I just didn't believe in and would disagree with. And one thing that like I have always believed in is like this sense of like perennialism in a way, where all things, like all religions, are speaking to some kind of truth, whether it's just a truth within people in our brains innately that we want to search for this like hope for peace, or if it is some metaphysical spirit. Maybe they're all speaking towards the same truth. And I remember one day in church, the priest specifically saying that if you believe that is just like basically like coercion by the devil. The devil is trying to steer you away from God. And it's like, how does that make any sense? If I'm trying to find the truth that God wants me to see between like within the different religions, like why the fuck wouldn't he try and show me some kind of an answer, like regardless of what it is? Even if it is like I get there and then be like, oh yeah, communion, that's the one I forgot. Yeah, get your first communion and then confirmation. And the reconciliation was the first going to whatever, going and talking to the priest, doing your prayers. Why can I not remember what anything's called? I guess it's been too long since I've been to church. Confession. That's what it's called. When you go in the confessional. I was like, why can I not remember what it's called right now? Confession booth. Yeah. But now we move on. Moving from God to boy throb. This video is 2 hours long. We'll see if I get through it. I'm going to try, but we know how I am about getting through 2-hour videos. We're going to speed it up just a little bit. This is the truth behind boy throb, the viral TikTok boy band.
Scrolling on TikTok the other day, as you do, and in amongst a plethora of, dog videos, other mindless content, I have cultivated my For You page well. I found one video that stopped me in my tracks. It enthralled me to the point that it reactivated my brain. And let me tell you why, okay? Let me explain this to you. So it was a video of 3 men. They were wearing these gorgeous velvet tracksuits. I believe they were in the color that King Candy would call salmon. And they were just absolutely dancing their little booties off. They were dancing their hearts out, okay? But they weren't in like your usual TikTok dancer setting. No, they were on this tiny little stage
at a nursing home. And if that wasn't enough, as the tune of this boy band's rendition of What Dreams Are Made Of by Hilary Duff plays at like library volume, very respectful volume, the camera, whoever is recording, they zoom in to a laptop screen, and on that screen is a fourth member of the boy band. Yeah, I know, it's good, right? This guy, he's wearing a matching uniform, little salmon number, and he's there just like shoulder shimmying along to the music. He's on video call, obviously very determined to be there by whatever means possible. I respect the hustle. Listen, I'm gonna play you the video so that you can actually see it. I just don't know if I can play the audio, but we will soon find out.
1, 2, 3.
I almost want to slow it down so I can really take it all in, but I'm confused as to how she got 2 hours of content out of this. Like, I get it, the Throb universe, the Throbverse runs deep.
Now listen, I don't know about you, but that captured me. It was the contrast, right? Like the dichotomy of, there was this banner, they had like a boy band banner, they had matching outfits, standout outfits too, yellow shoes, pink tracksuit, fascinating stuff, the choreography, amazing, right? The overall sheer professionalism of the whole act gripped me, but then that contrasted by the sparse and confused crowd, the fact that they were performing for elderly people, but they didn't really look like they should be performing to elderly people, and also like the single member that was performing over.
I feel like if you literally call up any nursing home, they'll probably let you come perform. I wonder how difficult it actually is. I feel like they need entertainment. So if you just call them up and you're like, hey, we'd like to come and do a little performance at the nursing home, would that be possible? I feel like I've seen so many people do stuff at nursing homes. Go do some magic real quick, you know, whatever may be.
A video call? Oh, it just intrigued me. I was like, now what could possibly be going on here? Because it got me thinking, right? I was like, well, what was their goal in doing this? Are they...
Her mic is kind of crazy. She does not need to be holding this. She could just set it down. I feel like there has to be a stand here.
Specifically like a retirement home boy band. That's their whole shtick, because like the level of intensity that they branded themselves with kind of implied to me that they were interested in being like a renowned band, right? And you know, entertaining residents at a retirement home is a lovely pastime. Very sweet thing to do. I'm sure they enjoyed it. It's just not particularly helpful as far as achieving the goal of, you know, becoming a well-known pop star goes. Because elderly people, you've got to admit, they are very unlikely to whip out their phone and record this hidden gem and post them all over socials and make them go viral. And so why? Why was this boy band performing in a nursing home instead of, you know, at America's Got Talent, or better yet, at Madison Square Garden? Because it's dead serious. Like, these guys, they sounded like they could kind of sing, they looked like they could kind of dance, they had a lot going on, seemed like they put a lot of effort into this. And importantly, their confidence, astronomical, off the charts. Like, their self-belief just looked unwavering. They knew they were meant to be doing this. And to be fair to them, their confidence, their self-belief, not unwarranted. They had something really interesting going on. And so it took this one 23-second video to reel me in. I was hook, line, and sinker, okay? I was caught. I wanted to know everything that there was to know about this boy band. But when I wrote down the video idea, because I was like, this is perfect, I did kind of think, you know, there's no way that I could realistically make a whole video about these guys. You know, they're just four dudes breaking down the boogie on a stage at a retirement home. I was like, there's probably gonna be like no information out there about them. But boy, was I wrong. Thankfully, I was wrong. There is so much to know about these guys. The lore I'm about to spoon feed you is crazy. Okay, it's not that. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it's fantastic. Okay, I genuinely, the reason I'm hyping this up so much is for some reason I thought this would be all fun and games. Nah, I was on the verge of tears while I was writing this script. I swear on my life. But we will talk about that. I'm gonna take you on my journey of discovery from, you know, I was learning about this boy band, what was happening there, what their mission was. They've got a whole mission. And then I got into, you know, who each individual member was. I unpacked some of the theories surrounding their band, because there is no shortage of theories. Yeah, no, it's a wild ride. Strap in, honestly, hold tight. But before
I'm excited. See, I'm wondering, is there a conclusion? That's kind of the big question here, is do we have a conclusion of what this is? Is it a joke? Is it all real? Because that's the part I'm really confused about still. Because I do think that it's like, they're clearly trying to do something real. Like, it's a real performance. They're trying to really make some music. They're trying to really put something together. But I feel like it's... like, they have to be self-aware. They did a video with Dax Flame. There's no way.
Before we strap into this roller coaster, I do want to share my usual disclaimer that as much as I do extensive research and I try to paint a comprehensive picture of everything I speak...
I'm so sorry, but her voice is making my sinuses hurt. I'm almost wondering if I can't watch this at this speed. It still feels too fast.
I am just a girl working on a time crunch to get a video out. I have access to Google like the rest of you, so please don't take anything I say for gospel, and don't be shy to expand on something that I've spoken about or to correct something that I've said in the comments. It would be really, truly appreciated, because it just makes the video so much more well-rounded. In the end, the reason I make these videos the way I do is because I want people to have all of the information to form their own opinion, and if you can help with that, fantastic, thank you. But with these videos that I'm working on over the holiday sort of period, they are going to be a little bit more rushed than normal. I'm trying to work a little bit quicker so that I can get more videos done, because that will allow me to take a break over the holidays, spend some time with family. Of course, the wedding is coming up in February, so I suppose I should really...
Congratulations. But let's get to Boy Throb.
I'm from New Zealand. It gets asked a lot. Okay, now
She is from New Zealand. There we go.
we can get started with our exploration into this boy band. Yeah, what's the story behind these guys that are responsible for bringing Hilary Duff's hit from 2003 to the attention of these grandparents in this retirement home? What's the idea there? Like, are they aware that their target demographic is probably not grandparents? We will get into this. But first we need to figure out who these guys actually are. Like, what's the name of the group they form? Which is kind of a redundant question because, listen, their marketing, it's great. There is no way that you watched that video that I showed you and you didn't notice the boldest aspect of their performance, which was the remarkably large banner that featured all 4 of the band members alongside the name Boy Throb, which, yes, they were displaying proudly in a nursing home. There is some humor in that, isn't there? And I can't lie to you, I was a little bit scared to do the
I was going to say that I think she sounds a bit nasally, but I think that it might just be her accent. And so I don't want to be rude. But I guess I was just rude anyways. I said it anyways. It happens.
The initial Google search to look into this band because Boy Throb, like, I had no idea what was gonna come up. But luckily I got a Google result for testicular pain. That was as bad as it's got. There's nothing unsafe for work or anything. But there's a good reason for that. There's a good reason that nothing too throbby came up. And that's because by the time I found out these guys, they had already carved out a space for themselves online. They were huge. But to my surprise, like, I was getting bamboozled around every corner. I was like, oh, even though they were very, very popular, these guys, their history, like, as a group, was incredibly brief because their TikTok account had been created just 1 month before I found them. It was made on the 27th of October, 2025. And by the time I found these guys, they had just reached 1 million followers, which is a bit of a spoiler alert, I apologize, but I'm just trying to paint the picture. It took these guys absolutely no time at all to find their footing. They started at a sprint. You know those baby turtles that get born and then
See, that's the thing that people don't realize, is people always say stuff like that, like, oh, they blew up overnight, oh, all this stuff. It's because we didn't see the planning that happened beforehand. We didn't get to see what was put into it all of the time, all the failures that happened prior. You don't know about all of the failed businesses I've started. You don't know. You don't know what I've been through. Just saying.
Then they like gun it straight into the ocean. That's what these guys did. And from first glance, I'm going to share with you like my initial impressions while I was looking through this
Just noticed a whip in the top left corner. You know, I wasn't going to mention it. Bit odd. Just hanging there, ready to go. It's in case someone breaks in.
Account. So from first glance, I was like, okay, this group, their concept was obviously agonized over. Like before the platform was ever even graced with a performance from these guys, they knew what they were going to do. They knew what style they wanted. They knew what tone they wanted. They had everything down pat. Like in their debut video, it was posted 2 whole days after the creation of their TikTok account. They were already rocking their signature, their pink tracksuits, the yellow shoes, which somehow I didn't notice the yellow shoes for a long time. I don't know how I missed them. It's really giving like I stepped in yellow snow, but it's such an eye-catching look. Obviously, it completes the look. I don't know how I didn't pay attention to that, but moving on. In this debut video, what they did was basically they like brazenly announced to TikTok that they were the world's next biggest boy band, and they said that they were going to win a Grammy. And their claims about being the best, talented enough to win a Grammy, they were supported by passionate background dancing. And as like a background note, something that maybe a lot of people wouldn't necessarily notice, it was supported by their keen ability to captivate an audience with such a gripping storyline and such attention-grabbing narration as well. It's just it's a masterpiece. I'll play the video for you so that you can be properly introduced to these guys, because it would be very rude of us to talk about them without meeting them first. And they speak about their mission and stuff like that in this video. You need to hear it, okay? I'm going to play it for you.
We are going to win a Grammy.
We're the world's next biggest boy band. Allow us to introduce ourselves. Evan, Zach, Anthony.
I'm Darshan. I'm stuck in India.
We each just flew from around the country to rent a house in Hollywood.
And we're so excited to be the new heartthrobs in town.
But we feel incomplete without Darshan. Our immigration lawyer told us we need 1 million followers in order for Darshan to be given a...
Is this leading up to saying they're an industry plant? Well, I think for them to be an industry plant, there would need to be an agency, right? Otherwise, they're just good at marketing. Because they would have to be like working with like some kind of a label. But I guess they're trying to get signed by a label. So if they come out that some label signed them overnight, it's not looking good.
Visa so he can sing and dance with us on U.S. soil.
We'd really love to meet him. Will you help bring him to America by following us?
And while you're here, we also need your help deciding our band roles. Which one of us is the heartthrob? The drama.
The smart one.
The sweet one.
So this was Boy Throb's first ever video, okay? First ever. By the way, this video also named them. I skipped ahead a little bit. They asked for people to name their boy band. People suggested names like Epstein's Angels. That was the most popular one. Ooh. They also had Darshan and the Pretty Boys and Keeping Up with the Dashanians, which I know is meant to be like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Girl, I keep thinking of the Backyardigans. But anyway, right, this video, Boy Throb's first ever video, it was so impressive and so engaging, and it was such a heartstring puller that viewers did sort of start to rally around them right away. They didn't get huge right away, but you can see from the comments the general response. It was one of love. You know, commenters were professing how much they adored Darshan, that they were proclaiming that he was their bias.
Let them be a plan. Who cares? People are having fun. But what if Darshan doesn't even live in India? What if he lives in LA right now? And they've been lying to everyone.
I mean, the other guys got some love too, but there was a lot of love for Darshan. Like, people were rooting for Darshan to make it to the US, and they felt like they could be involved a little bit, so they were excited about it. So there was somewhat of an outpouring of support. It wasn't like they, you know, first video made it to 1 million followers, but there was pretty good turnout. They posted a video the very next day, and they announced, for one, the actual official name of their newly established boy band, which was, of course, Boy Throb. I'll play that for you now.
We asked the internet to choose the name of our new boy band.
She was fixing her necklace. I thought she was about to pull out, like, I have my Boy Throb necklace right here.
Pretty good turnout. They posted a video the very next day, and they announced, for one, the actual official name of their newly established boy band, which was, of course, Boy Throb. I'll play that for you now.
We asked the internet to choose the name of our new boy band, and this was the most liked comment. Epstein's Angels.
Well, we love that you think we're angels.
Our immigration lawyer, Dana, said that if we went with this name, Darshan's visa application would be immediately rejected.
So we'll have to go with our second most liked comment.
Boy Throb.
While we don't love it, we made a promise to you, our fans. We'd pick whichever name you gave us.
And because we're boys of our word, we're gonna commit to it for you guys.
The angels up in the clouds are jealous of our sound. Be our Boy Throb, we're not ordinary. We are the newest boy band, and we'll win a Grammy.
Our boy band need 1 million followers so I can get a US visa.
And Boy Throb, their sample or their parody of Alex Warren's Ordinary, it clearly brought the band to his attention because he commented on the video. He said, whatever this is, yes. Just yes. And they replied, it's Boy Throb. Thank you, Alex. Nice interaction. And from there, the fandom of Boy Throb became established. They donned themselves with the name The Throbbers, also went by the Throb Mob. And the Throbbers, they just continued to eat and lick the plate clean every single time Boy Throb posted a video. They loved
What if they're actually a Mr. Beast project? That's what would ruin it. That would actually kill it. That's what would make it done.
them. And rightfully so. They were very likable. And Boy Throb, they didn't start slacking. No. They continued to put 100%, 110% even, into each and every one of their videos. They were all a production, okay? And with each and every post, the storyline also progressed. They did a really good job of that. Like, they had goals that the viewers got involved in, and that made their content so engaging. But I'll kind of break down for you what I was seeing when I scrolled through their page, because I went through every single video and I watched it the whole way. And I don't regret it. Like, I feel like it was a good use of my time. But anyway, their next video, so we're at their third video, they performed a cover of No Broke Boys. And they also announced that Darshan had finally received his very own velvet salmon-coloured tracksuit. Even had his name embroidered in the chest. It's just fantastic. Now, their next post, this was their fourth one, I suppose, it marked the inception of their What Dreams Are Made Of, that cover, the one that would eventually make it to the crowd of nursing home residents. Then their following video was a parody of the fate of Ophelia, but they changed it to the fate of Darshan's visa.
The fate of Darshan's visa.
Oh, it's so good. So, like, every one of their videos, without fail, mentioned Darshan's plight. You know, we need to get this guy a visa to the US. And people in the comments were loving it. They were loving the friendship between these guys. They were joking that basically the whole thing seemed like an elaborate scheme that four internet friends cooked up so that they could, like, meet each other. There was one commenter I came across, they said that it looked like Boy Throb was a group project that went viral, which I guess you could say it is. Another one, which I really enjoyed, it compared them to the Big Bang Theory, and, like, spitting image, I have to admit. But either way, it was clear that, like, Darshan and his need for a visa was sort of like, it was like the glue that was holding Boy Throb and the Throb mob together, because they had this one unified mission. They wanted to bring Darshan to the USA by achieving the goal that was set by Boy Throb's immigration lawyer to reach 1 million followers. That was how Darshan was going to get to the US. Well, that's what they started with anyway. Because when I first heard that, I was like, I don't know when the US legal system adopted my mum said that I could get a puppy if this comment got 1,000 likes. I don't know when they adopted that prerequisite, but I guess that having that, like, professional acclaim, because I guess it is a profession, that would prove that Darshan is an asset to America, so I could see why that would make his application easier to be accepted. I don't know. The social backing was what Boy Throb was told they needed for Darshan, and they were getting it. They were hoping that, you know, reaching more people would obviously convert them into followers, and then, you know, they'd be closer to their goal. They wanted as many eyes on them as possible. And viewers loved Boy Throb. They really loved Boy Throb, so they started asserting that bringing Darshan to the USA, like achieving their 1 million follower goal, would ensure the longevity of Boy Throb as a boy band. So they were like, we really need you to do this for us if you want us to stick around. And also there's the added layer that, like, they wanted their friend there. So they were clearly undergoing, like, severe anguish that Darshan was not there with them. And you could tell that because they announced to their viewers that they were sad and then also angry. Very upsetting stuff, really. I just wish Darshan could snap his fingers and be there, you know? But within 2 weeks, listen, they were doing all right. The Boy Throb TikTok page, it had reached 500,000 followers in 2 weeks, but they expressed that it just simply wasn't enough. They wrote, at this rate, our fourth member Darshan will never get a visa. Come on, step it up, folks. Well, there's
honestly, I'm wondering if we can skip this part, because I'd like the history of each of the individual guys. I feel like we know what Boy Throb is.
But right now we have one pretty obvious issue, and that's that their boy band is like split in half. That needs solved, right? So with
Yes, they need Darshan.
Get it right up. Rolling Stone and Reader's Digest.
Now, some throbbers were not impressed. I don't know what they expected Boy Throb to do. They don't have much say in it, do they? But these followers, they lamented that they were promised Darshan's arrival when Boy Throb reached 1 million followers. And they did, and they weren't seeing Darshan. So they were like, what's going on here? One commenter got 17,000 likes for questioning whether Boy Throb might just be scamming for likes, whether it might all be a ruse, you know? Some people sort of set the narrative straight, reminded people that it's not particularly easy to get a visa into the US, especially right now. It's kind of hard to secure that, so...
Of America.
Dallas, Texas. It tasked us with
Are these guys a parody? Wait, what? Sorry, I went left for a second. I was like, we know about all this. I know about all this. They think they... Okay. They got Darshan a better green screen.
But a few side characters kind of entered the scene. I'm going to talk about this very briefly, but they kind of caused a stir. So this new rival boy band came to the platform, came to TikTok. Yeah, crazy stuff. They announced themselves as being the world's newest boy band. And they, instead of wanting to win a Grammy, they held the belief that they were going to play at the Super Bowl. I'll show you their first video.
We're gonna perform at the Super Bowl. We're the world's newest boy band. Allow us to introduce ourselves. Gavin, Connor, Alan.
When Boy Throb came on the scene, the Shadow One summoned us to the music capital of America.
Dallas, Texas. It tasked us with taking down Boy Throb by performing at the Super Bowl. But we need your help. We only have a chance of performing at the Super Bowl if we have 1 million followers and a 4th member.
Send your auditions to badboysatpop69420lol@gmail.com or tag us in your video.
Without 1 million followers and a 4th member, the Shadow won't be forced to send us back to eternal darkness.
We're honored to be your new Bad Boys of Pop, so help us take down Boy Throb before it's too late.
And tragically, I will say, the arrival of the Shadow Baddies is what they went by. They split the Throb mob down the middle. Like, there was some comment.
I did not know about the Shadow Baddies. I hope I'm not missing anything else. I think I knew everything else up to this point. The Shadow Baddies is very confusing.
Because they were saying, like, oh, Boy Throb needed an archenemy to, like, push them to greatness. And then others were crying that, you know, like, Darshan isn't even here yet. He's not even in the USA yet. Why are you coming for Boy Throb? Like, this is not fair. They're already going through enough. Someone else commented that Darshan had the chance to do the funniest thing ever, which... yeah. But then there was another person, they spread the false information that Darshan had already done the funniest thing ever and he'd left Boy Throb before the Shadow Baddies. This is so goofy, I'm sorry. I love it. There was discussion around whether the Shadow Baddies were better than Boy Throb or not, and that just spread like wildfire. There were so many comments about it. But Boy Throb, meanwhile, they remained unbothered, never addressed the Shadow Baddies, never, not once. They said, stay in your lane, I'll stay in mine. And instead, they started to advertise their debut single. Oh, how good. Like, unironically, good. I mean it, good. And they needed media coverage is what they said in that video, so they were out to get it, and they decided to dance outside of Jimmy Kimmel's office in the hopes that they'd notice them. I'm sure some help from the Jimmy Kimmel team would have been much appreciated, but alas, he did not reach out. Strange, Jimmy Kimmel, strange choice. So a couple days ago now, Boy Throb announced that their debut single will be coming out the next day, and in that state...
Honestly, what is Jimbo Kimball even doing? I think that it would be a perfectly fitting for his show.
They addressed Boy Throb haters again. They had a track record of sort of talking to their haters, but this was a little bit more poignant because they kind of came at things differently. What they did this time was they showed their resilience. They acknowledged that they'd all faced hate individually for years online. You know, Evan had been told over and over again that he was an awful, hopeless singer. Anthony was picked on for having the worst music video in the world, and also for being an annoying person that can't sing or dance. And then Zachary, they said that he looked like Sheldon, like young Sheldon busting a move. That's kind of funny. Like, you'll find later he thinks that's funny too. I'm not just laughing at his, like, insecurities. And then Darshan, they showed a comment of someone being like, he sounds like the mosquito in my ear at 3 a.m. How cruel. And Boy Throb, what they did was they promised that their song Finger, yes, their new song Finger, yes, Finger by Boy Throb, Finger Boy Throb, yep, that's their song name. But they said basically that it was going to address the negativity in a positive way. It was meant to be a self-empowerment anthem of sorts. What they said about it was they said, this is an anthem meant to empower not only ourselves, but anyone who's ever been a victim of bullying. We've used all this hate as fuel to create the most throbbing bop the world has ever heard. We're so excited for you to hear it. Oh, and you know how much I love a throbbing bop, so I was gripping the edge of my seat. And then the next day, their debut single, Finger, came out. It did. Oh my gosh. So everything happened so quick for these guys. But Finger was met with an overwhelmingly positive reception, and not because people thought it was funny like the rest of their videos. No, like they liked it. Obviously, I can't play the song for you for copyright reasons. You can go listen to it if you'd like to. It's on, well, streaming services, platforms like YouTube. But if you haven't heard it yet, you'll just have to trust me and the TikTok creators that I'm putting up on the screen right now on this, that like this song, it's boppy. It is boppy. Boy Throb promised a throbbing bop And they delivered. They sent us all a throbbing bop. From there, things just went, the trajectory was up straight to the moon. Like Boy Throb, they held a successful Throb mob rally. It was very well received, even from onlookers. They absolutely were on board. I'll show you the video. You can see the enthusiasm in their eyes.
See how the Boy Throb rally outside LA's biggest news station.
We need press talking about how talented our fourth boy band member Darshan is, so his visa is more likely to be approved.
So we invited our 1 million followers to demand journalists cover Darshan's extraordinary abilities.
What do we want? A write-up. When do we want it? Now. Write about him. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Write about our Indian bro, Darshan's visa. Tell us what the Throb mob looks like. This is what the Throb mob looks like. Oh, I like Darshan in the USA. Oh, I need him here by New Year's Day.
Since our entire body of work up to this point consists of only 20-second cover songs, we created our first original single and performed it so the reporters had a new beat to cover.
Get on their feet, say yeah, yeah, yeah. Darshan!
KTLA falls in your court.
No. I love our Throb mob.
But also what I found really interesting was that Boy Throb, they kind of took the chance to get a little bit personal on their TikTok page. They shared little tidbits of their backstories, and I found that really interesting. I'll show you that as well.
Katy Perry rejected me on American Idol.
Me too. Before we became a band, before we even knew each other, Evan and I both auditioned for American Idol.
At least they aired your audition. They cut me out completely after I sang her song E.T. in front of her.
I don't have a TV.
Anyway, now that we have our new single out, we were wondering, Katie, would you say no to this?
Do you like our song, Katy Perry? We hope you like it, Katy Perry.
And then finally as well, while all of this is going on, Boy Throb landed themselves some media coverage. They needed media coverage and they were getting it. Boy Throb acknowledged that just today, this current day. Very excited to see a new post for them. They sang Thank You Next by Ariana Grande, but they changed the lyrics to Thank You, Press.
Thank you, Press.
It's so good. But okay, what I really want to explore is the Cosmopolitan and the Teen Vogue articles that feature exclusive interviews with the Boy Throb members. But we are not going to get too deeply into that yet, because first I want to really establish who these guys are, because their backstories, this is what made me cry. I genuinely got choked up so many times, it's not even funny. Like, this was hard for me. But to start us off with, like, introducing ourselves to the Boy Throb members, I will read you a little bit of the Cosmopolitan article, because they sort of introduce everybody. And what they say is that Evan is a singer whose passionate song covers were a staple of COVID-era TikTok. They introduce Anthony as a vocalist and cosplayer whose 2021 American Idol audition made waves. Then about Zachary, they said that he's a Berkeley-trained guitarist and violinist who is very committed to posting daily dance videos on TikTok. And finally, they said that Darshan is a singer who shot to TikTok prominence last year with covers of Doja Cat and Maroon 5. And now, of course, they are all successful and well-loved members of Boy Throb. And I know, like, this is a fantastic hero origin story. It's amazing. But it does beg the question of, yeah, who are these guys? Like, clearly we've coexisted with them for some time on the internet, but like, I've realized I think I've come across Zachary's videos before, but that's it. Like, I did not know the other guys existed. And I feel like I really should have. But once I was made aware that these guys had a history in the field of entertainment, I wanted to know more, right? I didn't just want to have like this.
That is what I care about. I've been following it for a minute, but I didn't know that we've gotten a little bit more information about them as individuals. Because I want to know, where did they come from? Where did they go? Did my stuff just cut out? It did. We're back, I think. I think we're back. I think we're back. The visa thing is obviously a joke, right? I think so. Like, I'd guess. Like, I would assume that it would have to be a joke. Captain, you're the sweet one in the H3 Galaxy, Boy Throb. I wanted to be the cool one. I want to be the cool one that's like the bad boy.
Surface level overview of what they did. I wanted to know who these guys were, what drove them, you know? And so before we get into the meat of the Cosmopolitan and the Teen Vogue articles, which are very interesting and they do help a lot with the story, I do want to take at least a brief moment to explore who exactly each and every member of Boy Throb is outside of their identity in the band. And the first Boy Throb member that I want to cover is Evan. Like I say, I'm going to try to give a brief overview of all of these guys. We don't need to go too in depth. I just want to know what makes them tick, you know, because there is so much conversation going around about, are these guys satire? So it would make a big difference to find out that, like, oh, they're all comedians or something like that, or versus, you know, oh, they all love, they're so passionate about music, for example. But even just like the Cosmopolitan article said, he did have a moment as a TikToker starting back in 2020. Or it wasn't just a moment, it's been like an ongoing moment. So he was, back then, I guess he was known as EvPop on there, on TikTok, and he was met with kind of a mixed reception online, I must say. I'll play you a bit of a reel of his videos so that you can get an idea of maybe what he was posting, I guess, and then we'll talk about him a bit more. I don't know if I can put audio with the clips of him dancing, so I'll see what I can do.
This video is inspired by Taylor's version of All Too Well, Taylor's version, the 10-minute version from Red TV, inspired by the short film All Too Well, Taylor's version. And I was never good at telling jokes. This video is from my California girl, Katy Perry. You could travel the world. I'ma cut you off. I'ma cut you off. I'ma cut you off. I'ma cut you off. I don't know about you, but I'm streaming Taylor's version until 2022. Everything will be alright, because Rhett comes out tonight. Autumn leaves falling down like pieces into place. I can picture it. Hey guys, I wrote this song called Hurt. Let me
You actually sing pretty good. Dance even better.
know if I should put it on my next album. I can't breathe, even when I try. Can't get a word out of me. And my life. You know Lil Juke made it. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on a thought shit. Post me a pic, wanna make me a profit. When the liquor hit, then the bitch get toxic.
Now you've seen those and you kind of know what he was doing online. I will play you as well a clip of him singing an original song that he wrote and what he had to say about it, because it is quite sad. Like, it really paints a picture
Merry Christmas, Scrub, and Happy Holidays.
of someone who's learned to be afraid of putting their passions on display because they've been teased about it. But yeah, I'll let you listen and then I'll keep talking.
I'm growing every day and I'm proud of it. I'm not hating myself because of a comment. The words used to break me every time. Now I'm taking control of my life. This song is for all the people who told me I'm not good enough, who told me I can't make it, who just got in my head all the time and just constantly made me feel awful. But I'm done listening to you.
So I guess the reason that that stuck out is really important to me when it came to addressing Evan's back history. I don't know nothing about his back, I swear on my life. And it's because I perused his old YouTube shorts and his old TikToks, and even achieved modest success way back then, but it was partially thanks to like true supporters that really saw something in him, and partially thanks to viewers that considered him to be somewhat of a lolcow. If you don't know what a lolcow is, then good for you. But according to the Urban Dictionary, this is what it is. It's a person or a group of people laughed at for actions that they take despite not trying to be funny. So they may try to take themselves seriously, but they're often milked for laughs with or without their knowledge. So basically, in other words, this is how I see it. There were bullies that were watching Evan's TikToks solely for the opportunity to criticize the fact that he enjoyed singing and dancing, and he was trying hard at them, but he wasn't perfect at either of them, you know? To those people with those bad intentions, Evan was a laughingstock. And this clearly bothered him. He noticed that this was happening and it didn't feel good, understandably. It got to the point that he made this video, he was pleading with his viewers. He was like, if you don't have something nice to say, then just don't say anything. Like, I don't need to see it.
Okay guys, I'm just gonna be honest. Stop commenting if you don't like me. If you don't like me, just scroll. It's not that hard. I know I said I'm not hating myself because of a comment, but it's just overwhelming sometimes the amount of comments I get that are just so hateful. Please stop. I'm begging.
And then someone commented on that video and they wondered if it was satire. I don't know. I don't mean to say that, you know, it's not necessarily an evil thing to question, but it's just like, no, it's someone being hurt, like genuinely hurt. You know what I mean? I do plan to go more in depth into lolcows and kind of how I feel about them in an upcoming video, so I won't talk about them too much. But in short, I hate them. Well, not them. I hate the label. Like, I hate the fact that people have made that a thing.
I hate lolcows. Oh, chill.
And they labeled it in a way that makes it socially acceptable, like the lolcow is at fault. Which maybe they are at some point, but I still see it as a bit of a stain on human nature, to be honest, the fact that we're capable of doing that to other people, especially because, like, not all lolcows are bad. They don't necessarily do bad things. They just tend to be more vulnerable people. I don't know. It just really grosses me out. And even to this day, the fact that Evan was seen in that light years ago affects how people see him now. Like, some people still hold that same view of Evan as they did years ago. Like, someone commented, I saw this on a boys Throb video and I was like, what are they talking about? They said, if you know Evan Papier is his name. I forgot how to say it. I'm sorry. Evan I'm gonna stop. I sound like I'm trying to spit out the words pap smear. That's my fault. I forgot how to say that. But anyway, it says, if you know Evan, you already know that boy Throb aren't joking. They say every video he's drenched in sweat and he has that 1,000-yard stare and you still think he's kidding. And obviously this was a very confusing comment. Like, nobody knew what this guy was talking about. And so someone clarified. They said he went on a TikTok live with Terry Jo and they said she was rage baiting him, as she does, and he believed that she was 100% real and serious and crashed out over it going viral. He genuinely thought that she was a Southern Baptist girl in a wheelchair, and when she laughed at his singing cover, he got all mad. So I was still really confused about this. I tried to find more information. I found this clip from a 2023 live stream. I think it's pertinent to what they were talking about. And from
This is a crazy crossover. What the fuck? Terry Jo, because everyone knows Terry Jo is satire. Terry Jo is some of the best satire. So I want to see, like, some great character acting. And Terry usually does get under people's skin, so I'm wondering, this is interesting. This does kind of throw a wrench in the satire theory.
Surface glance. Hold on, I'll play you the video and then I'll talk about it.
Oh, it's the new style with the fresh type of flow. If you want to menage,
Rest icicle ride, dick ride. Icicle!
I skipped a part.
Yes, you skipped that part. Start over. An iconic part.
Also a voice teacher as well. But no, I have a voice lesson.
Wait, you're a voice teacher? Why have I never known that?
Because it's a very new subject.
Do you want to coach me?
I little. I could coach. I could literally. I was like, there's times where I've been like, oh, I want to give you this pointer. I want to give you this pointer. I want to give you this pointer because it's like my voice. Because I have like a brain. Like you sound amazing, but like there's like a little thing that you could do that. No, it's not being mean at all. I'm telling you like standpoint. No.
Oh, wait,
Evan, I thought we were friends.
Okay, I'm gonna pause you. All right, I'm gonna give you some advice. So, what you're doing is you're singing it too high. Yeah. It's lower than you think it is. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what okay, so that was a little too low. So I think some great advice will be listening to Rihanna sing it in her key and then singing it with her. Okay. The pitch was really good, the tone was really good, but what you did was you closed your mouth and you really couldn't hear any of the words you were saying. You have to open it up a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, I wish that you would close your mouth a little bit more and never sing again, you know what I mean? And let me tell you something about me. What needs to be pitchfork is the people outside of your house with pitchforks and torches that need to burn down that fucking house with you inside of it. Because let me tell you this, you can't even fucking sing. And let me tell you something else, you can't dance either. So how the fuck you gonna give lessons to a bad bitch like me? I don't think so.
I don't think he knew you were joking.
I don't give a damn.
Can I say this, like, real talk, like, no character? I just wanted to, like, let you know, like, the reason that did, like, really get to me when you said that was because, I'm saying this as, like, an actual person. Like, I don't want to, like, I'm just saying I have, like, a really big following come up, and it really, like, completely destroyed my self-esteem. And I've been trying to work really hard, like, as a performer to, like, improve myself in my aspects. And I feel like I've done that, and, like, just hearing that, it really, like, really destroyed that self-confidence that I was trying to gain. So that was like the reason it really like no authentic.
Evan. We do not get authentic here.
Oh, this is why TikTok drives me insane sometimes. I'm not.
This is really starting to confuse me a little bit.
I would imagine I know exactly why that closet is empty.
Because it's not to say, oh, boy Throb, like, they could still be kind of putting on a bit of a persona and playing into, but like, I don't know, this just seems like he's definitely a bit more, like, maybe doesn't have as much of a sense of humor as we thought that they all did. I'm confused now. Okay, let's keep it going.
Because you need space for you. Because you're a homosexual. And you know, that's okay. We love the gays here.
I told you.
Wait, what? What did I just miss?
That's what we're not gonna do. I get this whole character, but we're not gonna do.
Wait, what?
No, she was like, you're in the closet because you're a homosexual. And I'm like,
That's her main joke. That's like the main joke that she makes on here.
That's not a joke at all. And that's not me, that's my friend. My cousin, I mean.
Yeah, but
I love the gays. I stand with the gays. And I'm literally pansexual myself.
Oh. But you don't know
you
what
are?
You don't know what I am, though.
Homosexual.
No.
Well.
But what are you? I am and no one ever will. That's my goal in life.
Okay, period. Well, I know.
No, you don't.
And I think the rest of the internet knows as well.
No, you don't.
We're a dream, love.
We'll make
you happy.
All right, I'm gonna head out.
Good night. Good night.
Fucking loser.
Yeah.
So my personal viewpoint, without much understanding of the situation, I might be missing something, but I feel like Evan's reaction was perfectly reasonable, sensible, almost respectable, that he just decided to exit the situation.
I mean, they're all trolling each other, though. It's like, it's just them it's them kind of trolling the audience by making these weird, crazy, like, it's clip farming at the end of the day. But, I don't know, his reaction did seem more genuine than theirs, and maybe he is just that good of an actor, but I don't know.
And I do understand at the beginning of the video, there is like a level of banter going on that everyone's aware of, but Evan is clearly taking this situation a little bit seriously. He's trying to give a genuine advice to this girl who's singing. If you know Evan, it became very clear to me very quickly that he takes singing very seriously, and that's okay. It's okay to take things seriously. The reality is that you just can't joke around with every...
I understand that how she was acting was her whole shtick, but that clearly didn't make what she said any less painful for Evan. But that's what I'm saying is either this is really high level and Evan is just playing into it like to that degree, or Evan wants to be more like, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see the rest. We'll have to see the rest. Like, they were doing a bit, but I don't know. Evan seemed a bit genuine. Yeah, they are as real as Dax Flame, yeah. But again, is he?
Everybody in the way that that girl did, because you have to know that the other person is going to be able to handle it, and you also have to have that prior connection and understanding that they clearly didn't have with each other to know where the other person's boundaries are, and to have, you know, the person that you're teasing has to have that trust in you that you are not going to damage them intentionally, you're not going to say anything harmful. Obviously that was not established prior, and Evan was not comfortable with the way he was spoken to. That's really what I gleaned from the situation. I don't think you...
I mean, it's clear that whoever is, like, quote-unquote in charge understands the comedic value of the boy throb, like, stuff. Like, that isn't in question. Like, it's not a question of whether or not they're partially joking. I don't know. It's becoming a more complicated issue in my head, I think, than it needs to be. Because, like, clearly they're joking. Like, in the video when they have Darshan talk, it's like they have the music playing, and then as soon as Darshan starts speaking, the music stops, and it's him just on a computer being like, "Help me come to the U.S." It's obviously a joke. But again, it's like, yeah, to what level is it a joke?
You have to think that Evan, you don't have to like Evan or his singing or anything to understand that what was said crossed his boundaries, and that's actually okay. But he got really clowned on it for it, and then it seemed to really affect him as well in the aftermath of the whole thing. Evan released a song. It was entitled 2123, which...
Perry wants to debate you about Cameron F305. You promised you would. No, I didn't.
was the date of that live stream, and it seemed to be about the situation. Someone commented and they said the outing part was gross to me because yes, we can tell he's a bit femme, but he wasn't ready to come out, and as a gay kid I can tell you that kind of teasing sucked when you knew but you didn't think others did, or you felt ashamed that obviously you were gay. That's awful. That sucks.
Running from Perry, yep. I told him last time, I bowed down. I don't know what else I could do.
You know, I don't know how that got spun into him being some kind of bad guy. But, you know, when it comes to Evan, something that I really respect is his confidence. Like, he was not just going to lay down and take other people's shit. He stood up for himself, and I respect that. That's so hard to do, but I'll play you a clip.
Okay, I'm getting a little annoyed now, so I'm saying this. I know I'm not conveniently attractive, but stop saying, I see the vision. You don't need a baddie to do this. I'm a baddie in my own right, and you can't say anything else, so that's it.
So that's kind of some of his pain points, I guess. As for Evan's content itself, it seems like his big break happened way back around like 2020, 2021, was it 2020? And it was this video I'll play for you.
She like, Papi, I adore you. I'm like, baby, I ain't normal.
I guess that went around as a meme for a little while, not like a high level exposure meme, but there were people joking about it. But then other videos of his did go viral as well that had a better reception for the most part. Like there was one of him dancing to Pushing P that got 2 million likes, so that was pretty big. And then over the years there were plenty of bangers. There was one of him dancing to Pour It Up by Rihanna. He had like props, he used cheers as props. It was phenomenal. There was another one of him breaking it down to Out of the Woods. He did lots of dances to Ghost in the Machine that did really, really well. So he didn't let sort of like trolls and haters drive him off the platform because he was enjoying what he was doing on there, and it was great to see. It was just so clear in his videos that he was obviously a big fan of pop music. He really loved artists like Taylor Swift. He spoke about Little Mix a lot, and he obviously enjoyed, you know, singing, songwriting, dancing, and even did take those things seriously. He told a commenter that he had taken some dance lessons, but he was also self-taught, so he obviously practiced a lot at home. And then same with singing, he took some voice lessons, also practiced a lot at home, and he did.
I mean, like, that's why I'm saying, like, it's clear that he is like trying to do music, and that's why I feel like he probably has more hand in the like lyric writing and stuff like that, because it seems like that is the part that he is very invested in.
Get recognized by some bigger artists and well-known people on the platform as well, like Young Gravy. He requested that Evan cover one of his songs. But yeah, I can definitely draw parallels between, you know, the 16, 17-year-old Evan that first debuted on TikTok and the person that he's growing into now. Like, he's been consistently quirky. He's a fun guy. He's entertaining, and he's very passionate about the arts. He loves to sing. He loves to dance. And over the years, he did kind of have a solo career going. He released a couple of original songs, and they do actually sound, I haven't listened to all of them, but they do sound quite nice. His most popular song is entitled Rain, and honestly, I might be the listener that bumps it up to 60,000 listeners because it's good. I like it. Kind of slaps.
Looks like they're calling for rain to wash me away.
But obviously, while he was working on that, he faced a lot of pushback. Like, he was rejected from American Idol. But he also received a lot of comments that discouraged him from doing what he loved. Like, there was this thread, sort of. It wasn't really a thread, but these two comments together really broke my heart for him. One of them said, "Give up on your dreams. You're one of the worst singers I've ever heard and seen. Get a job. You ain't gonna get one singing," which honestly feels terrible. Like, I don't even want that to come out of my mouth. But then someone responded to Evan's response to that video, and they said someone had to say it to him. We don't get everything we want in life. But I'm so glad that Evan didn't listen to these people. You know, he highlighted what consistency and persistence and a willingness to improve, what all that can achieve, because he's found success now. He's a thriving member of Boy Throb. But the reality that I've discovered is that Evan's
I just need to hear that again. Just that framing is so funny.
Someone had to say it to him. We don't get everything we want in life. But I'm so glad that Evan didn't listen to these people. You know, he highlighted what consistency and persistence and a willingness to improve, what all that can achieve, because he's found success now. He's a thriving member of Boy Throb. But the reality that I've discovered is that Evan's light, his spotlight, it was actually shining for a few years, and Boy Throb just intensified it. You know, he's still posting solo stuff on TikTok, and it's great. His confidence now is just absolutely shining. It seems like he's a real party guy. He has a lot of fun, and you know, he's owning himself. He accepts who he is, and that's so powerful. He is clearly finding this pure joy in the things that he's doing, especially in the arts. And everything he does, it has this power to it because he's doing exactly what he wants to be doing. And he loves it. You know, he's a big part of the choreography for Boy Throb, but then he's getting to sing and...
Is this video satire itself? It has to be. That's the part I'm starting to wonder, because she's a...
You know, break it down on TikTok to millions of people. And it's worked out for him. He's getting to...
Wait. Who's that?
Exactly what he wants to be doing. And he loves...
Wait, who's this? That's not Darshan.
He's a big part of the choreography for Boy Throb, but then he's getting to sing and, you know, break it down on TikTok to millions of people. And it's worked out for him. He's getting to do exactly what he wanted, and it's because he didn't listen to all of these people telling him that he could never do this. I hope they feel silly for saying that, and I hope that Evan is very, very proud of himself because he deserves to be. But a very cute little fun fact is I know that Evan's mum is very proud of him because she made a whole video proclaiming her pride to the world. Oh, it's so sweet.
Hey guys, my son Evan Puckmere and his new boy band Boy Throb that's taken the nation by storm just released their first single today called Finger. Check it out on Spotify and take a listen here.
It literally just made me tweak out.
She wrote in a comment, she said, "I've watched Evan pour his heart, time, and talent into this."
Like, it literally gave me chills, just like... I don't even know how to explain how that just made me feel. Just seeing a mom go run it back and watch my reaction to that. Just a mom going, check out my son. Oh god, there's something about that. I don't know. I was also thinking about Pap Schmear again because of what she said.
Since he could walk and talk. I mean, if that doesn't make your eyes well up, then I don't know what will. Like, this was so hard for me. But before I get too emotional, let's move on to the next subject that also makes me emotional, which is Anthony Key. Anthony, he started posting to his YouTube channel, which is Anthony Key Vivo, back in 2019. And he was posting covers on there, but they weren't just covers of him like sitting and singing in his bedroom, for example. They were accompanied by elaborate music videos. They were filled with like intentional sets, so he obviously was setting up the camera in a place that he knew he wanted to be. Like, he had this all planned out. He had great choreography. Oh, and he had a very similar trajectory to Evan, and this just gets me so bad. It gets me so bad. I'm just so sad that they experienced this. Anyway, Anthony had been passionate about music since he was just a tot. Since he was a little kid, he loved music, and he continued to enjoy the arts into adulthood. And he's done his fair share of jobs. There were a lot of comments from people that knew Anthony on his TikTok page, but on the Boy Throb page, there was a TikTok commenter that shared that, I guess this was when Anthony was in his early 20s, he worked as a hall monitor in this person's high school, and they were saying that no, Boy Throb is not satire because Anthony was actually a prolific singer and dancer even back then. He would perform at lunch if he was requested to. He would perform at their local outdoor amphitheater. Like, he was doing it. He was out there doing it even back then. And then later in life, Anthony became an Uber driver, and it's really heartwarming because he seemed to have this great impact on so many of his passengers. Like, a bunch of them would come to his TikTok and be like, "Hey, I remember you. It was so nice to talk to you in your Uber. I regularly listen to your music now. You're such a cool guy," you know? There's this clip of him singing happy birthday to one of his passengers, and you can just tell that he's very, like, charismatic. You know, he seems like he really cares about people or connecting with people.
It's her birthday.
It's your birthday. Whose birthday?
The one with the jacket in the back. Like, oh my god. Right behind.
He's one of those guys. You guys know I actually sing. Would you guys like to hear it? No, I'm actually just trying to go to Starbucks. It's just up the road. Yeah, but I actually sing, though. You want to hear it? Here, I got you. My shiny teeth and me. Shiny teeth, shiny teeth. There we go.
And you.
What's your name?
Her name's Emily.
Emily? Alright, so I gotta sing a happy birthday.
Yeah!
Okay, ready?
Yeah!
Alright. Happy birthday to
Ooh.
you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
family.
Ooh.
Happy birthday to you. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much.
I'm tone deaf, so I can't.
Oh, that's
can't
okay.
see you. Why are you so cute?
Oh,
You're amazing.
And he also, Anthony worked as a
Here, wait. Let me sing for you real quick. I got a new. Let me show you a song. It's your birthday, so I got a special. You know, it's Christmas time. I got a special song for you for the holiday season. Santa Claus got a big booty. Oh yeah. That's what I would do if I was an Uber driver. 0 stars.
the DJ, and apparently he excelled at that. I saw so many comments of people being like, Anthony was my DJ and he was amazing. This one, for example, it read, Anthony was a DJ at my wedding in 2021 and he is the coolest person ever. I love him so much and I recommended him to literally anyone that I knew in my area who was getting married. And they continue to say, Anthony is the life of the party, hilarious and such a kind person. I'm so happy that he's doing this. They're talking about Boy Throb. They said, I've always known he 1000% was destined for the entertainment industry and I'm so happy it's finally happening for him. And then another person wrote, Anthony, I remember you from when you worked at VHS. So glad to see you're still living the dream. Keep it up, man. So genuinely what I gathered from his comments is that Anthony, like the people who met him felt so connected to him that they never forgot him. They constantly rooted for him. And that's really lovely. Like that says something about his character, I think. But even though he seemed like a really genuinely nice guy, things were not always smooth sailing for Anthony. So Anthony, he released his debut song, it was called Key to My Heart, and he did that in 2021. And I cannot lie to you, oh my God, it's been on loop in my head. I'm walking around this house singing, you are the key to my heart. You are the key. I can't get it out of my head. It's so good. But anyway, obviously I can't really play you much of the song because it is copyrighted, but go listen to it because it's a bop. Especially if you like, you know, the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and stuff like that. It's right, nail on the head, right up there with them. But there's this video with Anthony listening to the fully produced song for the first time and it brought him to tears and he was just so truly excited. Like you could see it in his body language. He was just this ball of excitement and he was so happy that he'd managed to put this out there. He's sitting there with his mother and I guess probably some other members of his family and she like leans in from off camera and comforts him because he's obviously having such a big emotional reaction.
Here we go. I just can't believe I lost it that much. It's just the overwhelming flood of emotions. Just like
your whole life has been like this, and now
it's been this song.
You know,
it's such a long time coming to this.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I'd never ever.
I'm so delighted in you, my baby.
And it's so sweet and the song itself is good. I like it. And he worked really hard to make it. But anyway, this was sort of under the radar as far as things went. Also in 2021, Anthony auditioned for American Idol and he did make it through, but he did make enough of an impression that he appeared on the show. And they painted Anthony as a really charismatic guy who loved to perform, loved to impress the ladies and had a really good style to him. Social anxiety fears him is basically what I got from that. He also, in his little interview segment, he showed off his car with, it had like pop star on its license plate. And he just spoke about how his dream was to be a world-renowned star, like it was what he was working towards. And he pretty much had been his whole life. So then he got in front of the judges, he sung Dynamite by BTS, and I think it was just a little bit difficult for him. He also danced for the judges, and like, it's not that he did poorly in his audition, but I guess...
Okay, it's real for me now. No, I'm just so confused. Okay, we're gonna need to hear the history of these two. These two are shorter. The history of, I think it's Zachary, and the history of Darshan. They're both super short. These ones are the longest, and these two are the most authentic for a boy band. Like, these two are the ones I'm interested in, are Zachary and Darshan. Because Zachary is the one that everyone was thinking could be the mastermind. And I'm starting to think that might be true. Because from what we know, it seems as though he was like the music guy. They're like the performers, the singers, the writers. He seems like he's classically trained in some regard. He was doing dances. He was doing stuff like that. And maybe he did tell them, hey, let's bring the band together, not back together for the first time. It's like, it seems like maybe someone knows how to play the algorithm because they've been trying to play the algorithm for a while. Both Anthony and Evan have both been trying to get something popping, and it seems like somebody just kind of pushed them in the right direction, and that's the thing I'm wondering about. Because I don't question the talent. I don't question it. I don't question the story. I don't question the validity. I question something. I don't know. There's something off.
that he maybe tried to do too much, because obviously it's a singing show, so they're looking for someone with star power, but mainly someone who can sing really well, and I guess he didn't demonstrate that for them. But it's understandable that he wanted to sing and dance in the way that he did because he is multi-talented, so I understand what he was trying to communicate by doing it that way. But Katie loved the choreography. She got up to dance with him. He proudly was like, I cooked this up myself. So she was like, teach me something, got the other judges up, and he taught the dancers taught the judges a few dance moves is what I was trying to say. And it looked like they had a lot of fun. It looked like genuinely they really liked him. Alas, as we know, he did not make it through. All of the judges actually respectfully said no, but they really did do it respectfully. They spoke about how he maybe needed to hone in more on his own artistic persona because that he seemed to adopt so much from the 90s boy bands. They also said his singing wasn't super strong, but they did see that he had a chance somewhere in the industry for sure, whether it be in choreography or whatever he wanted to do. And they also told him that they could see how,
in my opinion, they originally were serious but couldn't make it, so they started a satire boy band and found their niche. Just like how Joji first started by making meme songs, a joke album, and then committed for real. That's what I'm saying, is it's kind of like, I feel like whoever is the mastermind, quote unquote, thought of the idea of like, the best way to do this is to create some kind of, like, there needs to be some like element that draws in the crowd. Like, there needs to be something that is flashy, something that's big, and making a boy band is the funniest thing to do right now. Like, it's so out of left field, like completely just, who's doing it? Well, we just saw, but it was because of Boy Throb. And so I do think that there has to be a mastermind. I don't know who it is, but it's clear that they're doing it as a joke to display their actual talents.
hard he worked on the performance. So it definitely wasn't that he did poorly, like he really didn't impress them. It was just that he wasn't the right candidate for the show, I suppose. I guess the thing was really that Anthony was like a shoo-in for a 90s boy band, but he just didn't arrive on Earth in time, you know? So he brought that vibe into the 2020s instead, and then people were kind of like, oh, we're past this. So I kind of like it, and trends come in cycles, so I don't know why everyone was, well, we'll get into this soon, but everyone was ripping the poor man to shreds. But speaking about him as an individual right now, I mean, the man, he can dance, he can sing, he can play the drums, he can play guitar, he can DJ. I mean, come on, like, he can do a lot, and he's such a hustler. It's clear from his internet presence that he is a very creative person and a very motivated person, because he just put so much heart into everything he put out. So you can tell he has so much care for his craft. He loves what he does. And he's also very clued into how the algorithm works, kind of what people want to see on there, what's going to catch people's attention. Actually, he seemed pretty up to speed on the internet in general. Like, he, on YouTube's birthday, he turned YouTube's first ever video, the Me at the Zoo video, into a song.
So here we are, in front of the elephant.
And that's great, right? That had potential, it just didn't take off. So
I mean, I'm not trying to be rude. You can't say somebody's good at playing the algorithm and then show an instance of something that they did that has good potential but didn't do well in the algorithm, because that kind of shows that they weren't good at it. And that's why I still think it was somebody else that took Anthony and Evan's talent. I think that they're the ones that are the talented ones. And that's not to discredit, what's his name? Nathaniel? What is his name? Zachary or Darshan. But I do think that it's like, there's something that they're useful for different reasons.
his posts were intentional. They were intentional from the very beginning. As far back as you can go, he had a mission. And he basically used platforms as if he'd already achieved his goal, as if he was already where he wanted to be, which is great advice to present yourself as the person that you want to be, or act like you're in the stage in life that you want to be in, you know? Some of his content, I will admit, was a hard watch. You know, like there's videos of him, he was singing to random employees at places like Panda Express. There's one of him in a shop singing to a girl. I'll play some for you.
Oh man, I'm nervous. Hi, I would like to order a plate. $13.38, that's a pretty good price, but maybe can I get a little bit of a discount if I sing you a little song here, and it goes to something like this. So please come and just set me free, because... Thank you. So can I...
Like I'm saying, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be a hater. But it's like there's a reason that this never popped up on my TikTok feed. I'm sure some people saw it. I'm sure it got a good amount of views, more than I've ever gotten. But it's weird. The algorithm's a weird thing. You really do have to just be shameless to some degree if you want to hit the algorithm.
Can I get a little bit of a discount? Are you serious? Really? Oh, sweet. Thank you. I was hoping that maybe you can help me find something. Okay, it was on the website when I searched it. It was called Key to My Heart. Key to your heart? The Key to My Heart.
That was kind of funny. She like got what he meant immediately, but then he like kind of reversed it on her. She was like, key to your heart. And he's like, no, key to my heart. He's like, it's a fragrance, duh.
You know, are you sure? Because I might have it. And it's right here. And it goes a little something like this.
I love how fast he starts. He's like, I can't give them a second to tell me no. I gotta just get it out.
Baby, forgive me for coming on too strong. Crazy is how I feel, cause I've waited so long to tell you that all of my life I've been locked away. But you can change the hair today. Thank you. Just wanna know, will you be my Valentine today? Sure. Awesome. My name's Anthony.
My name's Seneca.
Nice to meet you, Seneca. Nice to meet you as well. Thank you.
She just wanted to end that interaction. That was very cringe.
Thank you so much. So yeah, so you basically answered my question. You made me look what I was looking for. It was you, Seneca. Thank you so much.
Of course. Have a great night.
You too. Take care. I was just thinking, I have my sister here.
See, she keeps trying to walk away. She keeps trying to walk away, but he keeps stopping her. Look.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you. Thank you
She's like, okay, gonna go over here.
so much. So yeah, so you basically answered my question. You made me look what
She's like, okay, yep.
I was looking for. It was you, Seneca. Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
Of course. Have a great night.
Have a great night.
Take
Immediate
care.
flip around, start walking the opposite direction. She was doing something over here, and she said, I'm done. I'm done doing what I was doing.
I was just thinking,
Immediately stopped.
I have my sister here film this. Is it okay if we upload this to TikTok? Oh, you're the
She just really wants to end this interaction.
best. Thank you so much. All right, have a good night. Take care. Happy Valentine's Day.
But like in the end, what was really clear to me was
You didn't even give her, like, you should have at least, like, given her some chocolate or something. That would have at least made it worth her while. You kind of just wasted her time. You held I don't mean to hate on Anthony, but you kind of just held an employee hostage for a minute while you sang to her. Cupid is an angel, right? Cupid wins. You got a point. Cupid just calls on God. God smites Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and who else did I have on the list? And the Tooth Fairy, and Larry the Cable Guy. They all get smitten. Smited? They all get mauled by bears, like that one Bible verse.
the fact that Anthony was doing that because he was willing to do anything. And not in like a desperate way, he just was willing to do anything to make it because he really believed in himself and his goals, and he just needed people to see him. And Anthony, this is like his whole purpose, you know, he was in a car accident. It looked pretty scary. It was back in 2023. But he shared that he came out of this car accident completely unscathed, and so did the music equipment that he had.
Oh, did he hit a light post or something? This looks like what happens to a car during like a Superman fight. Like he gets smashed into the top of a car.
Had in his boot. And what he wrote about that is he said, I believe this is a sign my musical journey is not yet completed. God knows I still have a purpose to fulfill. And at that point, he really did have his own little fan base, but it was little. It seemed to be largely coupled together of like people that he sort of collected from his many ventures in life. You know, people he'd made a good impression on, whether he was their Uber driver or their DJ or someone they met on the street. And he really was putting the work in. Like he was out auditioning for things. He won a Rising Talent Award. Generally, he was just giving life his all. Like he really put effort into every single thing he did. He cared. And it really breaks my heart to say this, but we've gotten to the point where I have to, that just like Evan, Anthony was ridiculed for the effort he put in. And I hate that. This Anthony story really, really, really made me tear up. Like, I could barely hold it back. I was sitting there and I was like, is this really doing this to me? But, you know, Key to My Heart, that song was Anthony's baby. It was his first debut song, and he was rightfully proud that he was able to do that. Like, he poured so much time, years, into the song. He worked so hard to gather the money to fund the song. He put so much effort into making the song as good as it could possibly be. He had so much hope in that song. You know, God, it just makes me so sad. Like his whole life led up to the release of that song, right? And then a few years later, I think this was 2023, Anthony released the music video for the song Key to My Heart.
Preaching singer Anthony Key has a new video for his song Key to My Heart. He says the video was filmed at a rooftop and at Midnight Cinema Studios in Chicago.
What would be some appropriate spaces to film for this, especially a song called Key to My Heart? And, during the bridge, it's talking about, how I'm being locked away forever. And what's an idea of being locked away forever? So a few things came to mind, like a jail scene. And then I saw this Houdini tank where you fill yourself with water. I'm like, oh, there's nothing more trapping than that. So I thought, let's do it. This is the place. Yeah! Woo! Got a little plug on the radio, y'all. Woo! Key to My Heart, baby. Go check it out.
And listen, it was well produced, all things considered. Like, did a good job with it, but it featured in a Daz Games video. The video was entitled Daz Watches the Worst Music Videos in the World. My heart literally sunk while I was reading this. I don't know why. Daz.
Not Daz Games. I remember it's Daz Black, right? Wasn't he on, he was on Vine, I think.
In this video, he called the song awful. He ridiculed the concept of the video, and he commented that Anthony looked 45 and 18 at the same time. And this sort of almost bullying, I'd say, it carried on over to Anthony's Instagram page. Like, people sought him out to comment nasty things about this work that he'd poured his whole heart into. People called him a troll, for one, like they didn't take what he was doing seriously at all. But then also they commented things like, this song gives me hope that I too can accomplish nothing. And this absolutely fucking sucks, with like fire emojis. People were telling him to give up. Like, it's just so cruel. How does it, like, it makes me feel bad to read it and to say it out loud. How do you feel okay after commenting something like that? Because there's no intention behind it other than to be nasty. Well, there was someone, they accused him of plagiarizing the Backstreet Boys, which I suppose they probably thought was valid criticism, but Anthony responded. He said, I didn't plagiarize anything. Tons of songs from that era had the exact same beat. NSYNC, Brintley, 18s, you name it, all had this beat. And he's not wrong, right? Like, yeah, the song does sound similar to other songs, but it also just, like, to me, it just...
Who does that one song? Same four chords? Same... Who? Same four chords. Yeah, Axis of Awesome. They do four chords, and it's like, I forget how many songs it is in total. But a lot of songs are repetitive like that.
Really sounds like it's from the 90s. That was the style of music back then. But then there was another person like...
And also, I mean, unless he produced the, instrumental himself, then he might have, but that's a weird critique to have, unless he plagiarized actual lyrics from the song.
Commented, "Gah, I wish my parents had this kind of money," to which Anthony responded, me too. Too bad I had to work my tail off for it. Like, these people, they didn't know anything about him other than that it was okay to make fun of him because somebody else did it. They were just taking these blind shots at him. And in the end, in my opinion, they're the ones that look stupid for following the crowd without questioning whether what the crowd was doing was right or even, correct. Like, for example, someone commented to this man who we know has worked his entire life to improve at this craft that he really cares about and really respects. They commented, the Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias that causes people to overestimate their abilities in a specific area, especially if they had limited knowledge or skill in that area. And that grinded my gears because I was like, how is... Like, if he sat down with a guitar and filmed a cover, people would be like, oh, that's acceptable. But because he was trying, oh, he's a try-hard, he's better than he is, he's worse than he thinks he is. I don't know, it just doesn't, it's not fair criticism to me. It's not constructive at all. But thankfully, Anthony handled the negative attention really well. Probably better than I would have done based on how I'm talking about it. But in response to that person talking about the Dunning-Kruger effect, he said, I see what you mean, but that is a losing mindset. If people thought like this, they would give up on themselves and give up on growth. Nobody comes out of the womb an expert. You have to miss shots before you make them. My advice to people is always, always to keep trying, especially when people doubt.
I also just don't think the Dunning-Kruger effect applies to, like, the product. It's more so, it's usually the Dunning-Kruger effect is like an applied effect, like in someone's speech or something, like something that, because it's like to display like, yeah, I don't know how that applies to music. Unless you were like talking about music, but I don't understand how that would make sense in a song. Am I misunderstanding the Dunning-Kruger effect? Dunning-Kruger. Low ability to specific area overstimulates their competence, while experts often underestimate theirs. Yeah. Yeah, Mount of Stupid, Valley of Despair, Slope of Enlightenment, Plateau of Sustainability. And I would say that, like, I don't see how making a song would make you the peak of Mount Stupid. yeah, liking someone's music and thinking it's subjective is pretty, or thinking it's good is pretty subjective. Well, it's also like there's a difference between liking the music and saying that it's bad. It seems like the way that his stuff was produced, the music, the video, all of it's done well, even if you don't like it. So you can say that like it's hollow or something if you want, but to say that he doesn't understand how to put something together is just like, that doesn't make any sense.
And you know what? He's absolutely right, and that's so inspiring. He was trying his best, and he was only getting better.
Keep right-clicking by accident. I don't know
And he was only learning more, and I don't know when that became a crime. I have to admit, it might make me a bit of a wet blanket, but I really cannot handle when people make fun of their peers for enjoying themselves, for doing something they love. You know what I mean? I think it's a beautiful thing to have a passion. And I'm not talking about Anthony specifically when I say this, but you don't even have to be good at something to have the right to do that thing in peace. And I think it's a real shame that we've put that idea in people's heads that, you know, they can't do something they might be bad at in case they get made fun of, because we, I guess as a society, can't just feel the joy radiating off that person and let them bask in it. We can't just leave them alone to enjoy it. We have to say something. It makes me so sad, especially when we're looking at someone like Anthony, who by all accounts seems like a really nice guy, someone who is really concerned with the well-being of other people as well. You can tell from the way people talk to him that they feel like he cares about them. And on top of that, he puts serious effort into these things that he does, and that doesn't make him a tryhard, it just makes him a motivated person. And realistically, he genuinely is not that bad. Like, you can't even say that that's that bad. So why can't we just let him have that? Like, is it a reflection of our own insecurities? Like, who actually cares if someone's a little bit cringy? Who cares? How does it affect you? Especially online when you can just scroll past it.
I get secondhand embarrassment. That's how it affects me. I see all of the people mocking that individual and it makes me feel bad. So don't act like it doesn't affect me. I've felt that since like elementary school. So that's not going away anytime. But my secondhand embarrassment also doesn't mean it doesn't mean that someone shouldn't do something either. Do what you love, you know? But also don't expect everybody else to like it. That's kind of the main thing, right? And I think that school talent shows were just setting kids up for failure. None of those kids are talented.
I realize this might
now
be
that's Dunning-Kruger effect.
real pain point for me, so I am gonna move past it. But like, this person, they said, I thought this was intentional cringe. The fact that he's serious is disturbing. Why? Why does it disturb you to see someone doing something that makes them happy? Why is that disturbing? Like I said, I'm gonna move past this, but like, why? In the end, I think that Anthony's passion for music just overshadowed the backlash that he was facing for indulging in his passion. Like, he didn't care so much because there were people out there. He knew, he believed in himself. He knew he wasn't making bad music. He knew that some people enjoyed it, and in the back of his mind, at least, he was probably stoked that his music was reaching people in a way that it never had before, even if it meant that he had to face criticism like that. And I say that because in response to this comment, it read, Gloves, Planet Fitness, this person is the pinnacle of power.
Wow.
Anthony said, power is not the goal. Mercy, humility, and compassion while sharing my art of music with the world is where my heart is. Plus, I'd like to stay in decent shape while doing so. Like, you know that meme? Good for her. That's how I felt. Good for her. But on the brighter side of things, Anthony did actually find success online in a niche that accepted him and the things that he had to offer. And that was, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but the Genshin cosplaying niche. I forgot to look up how to say that. I'm so sorry, but the
Genshin Impact? Really?
Cosplaying niche, he slayed in that. Anthony ran an account doing Genshin cosplay ASMR with his
Like I was saying, do what you love, but this is cringe. See, and like I'm saying, I'm gonna go do cringe shit too. But like I said, do stuff for you. Don't do it and expect other people to like it. Do it because you enjoy it.
sister Nikki Key. They were on TikTok and they were on YouTube.
Because that's the thing. Nothing is cringe. The only thing that is cringe is the people feeling secondhand embarrassment. Like, me feeling secondhand embarrassment for this is more cringe than them doing it. Like, why am I getting upset about something that somebody else is doing? Why am I feeling some type of way about someone else? Like, you know what I mean? This isn't me. Why am I embarrassed for that? That doesn't make any sense. And that is kind of the basis for cringe on some level.
YouTube, and honestly, they did well. They were consistently reeling in tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of views, and generally people were very supportive of what they did. So this cosplay era is actually what a lot of people recognize Anthony from when they saw him in Throb. They were like, oh my god, that's that guy. And you can definitely see, like, the skills that he used to boost this cosplaying account, they're the same skills he uses in Throb. Like, they shine through in Throb.
After our shifts are over, let's take some McDonald's back home with us, and then we can have another Kamisato slumber party.
Yeah.
See, I can criticize the scripting and plot, because what the fuck is this? But saying it's cringe is a bit lacking of a criticism.
This Kamisato slumber party. That will be nice.
I'm exceedingly hungry. Only 5 more minutes.
Yes.
Well, if it isn't the Yashiro Commission twins, Ayato and Ayaka Kamisato.
What, these two are these two like AI? What's happening? Why are they like voice chatting in?
So, what are you guys up to?
Greetings to both of you.
It is a long story. What would you like to order?
Well, the whole crew is going to be eating with us, so we'll need about 23 McDoubles, 15 large fries, 12 large drinks, and 20 apple pies.
Well, let me get right on that for you. If you'll excuse me.
And you can just see it's the same kind of energy where, like, yeah, they take what they do relatively seriously, but there's some humor injected in there. Like, they're not sticks in the mud. Sorry, I was really struggling to think of something to say there. But if you think of Jenny Nicholson's comment section, if you've seen those before, that's pretty much what the comment sections on these cosplay videos looked like. Because in the videos, they would act out certain scenarios and they had little jokes infused in there. And in the comments, people would laugh about these jokes and they would parrot them back to Anthony. They'd make little inside jokes about what they saw in the video with other commenters in the comment section. It was a really nice community from the looks of things. And behind the scenes while this was going on, Anthony obviously was still working on his own solo venture in the music industry because he loves music, and so he continued to release it, quite simply. Most recently, actually, this was just like a week or two before Boy Throb hit the scene, so October, Anthony put out a video for his song called The Hypnotize, and again, it's good, the production value is good, and the song itself, I noticed that, you know, it showed a versatility because it was completely different from Key to My Heart. So everyone being like, oh, he's just, you know, ripping off 90s boy bands, he's got none of his own personality. No, he could do more than that. I think people had a lot of doubts in Anthony that weren't really warranted because the guy is musical. Like, he's good. But he was tracking along with, you know, this modest success that he had a couple thousand followers until one day he appeared in the unmissable pink Boy Throb tracksuit, and then his views started creeping from there. They just got higher and higher and higher, and finally people could appreciate Anthony for his talents. All it took was a bit of social proof and he was off to the races. It's so interesting to think about because it's embarrassing, right, to be non-conforming. Like, we think it's embarrassing to look at, it's embarrassing to do, until it pays off. So I'm just like, at this point I was like, well, thank God that there are people that are, you know, willing to stay true to themselves, that are able to stay true to themselves like Anthony did and like Evan did in the face of this terrible response, because otherwise the world would be so boring. Thank God for people like Evan and Anthony. But as of today, Anthony, thankfully, is doing really well. He continues to show a knack for working the algorithm in the way that he includes a cutout of Dashawn's face in the background of his videos. Like, he's just always got something to hook you in his videos. And it's paid off. It's really paid off for him. His solo TikTok account had 10,000 followers a month ago. Now it's nearly sitting at 40,000 followers. That's huge. Anthony is doing so well, and I think importantly, he's proof that it's never too late to succeed in what you love. I mean, he's not old by any means, but I was 20 when I was like, okay, I can't keep pushing on this YouTube thing. I need to let go of it, you know? And so I know there's a lot of people out there that do the same thing, and they have this passion, but they're like, listen, I'm too old now. It's not going to happen for me. I need to give up on it. And so Anthony, I see as inspiration in the sense that, you know, he continued to incorporate his passion into his life. He continued to get better and better at his craft until eventually it took off for him. But even if it doesn't take off, just the fact that you have that in your life is such a meaningful thing. You know, at least he allowed himself to do what he loved. He didn't listen to other people at the expense of himself and his own happiness.
I used to slip and fall a lot because my shoes sucked. And the worst response was when no one laughed. Yeah, that is the worst. When they're all just standing there like, oh no. They feel bad for you, and it's like, I just fell. Stop it. Stop it, please.
And I really, really respect that. But I mean, like, look at him. Just look at him working the crowd in this video.
Look at him. This looks like it's like some Christian rock festival.
Yours is my heart. Ready to sing it with me? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, so
like,
he rocks that spin. He really does.
Was meant to do this. You can't say he wasn't. He has such a personality. And writing this, I'm being so serious, it genuinely brought tears to my eyes. Like, I felt so sappy writing this video. I don't know what hit me. I got bit by the crying bug.
She really is feeling this a little too deeply. Like, they're just some guys in a boy band. Their stories are so deep. They came from nothing.
Something, but I was just like, man, this guy has worked so hard. And now he's getting to live his dream. Like, it's so beautiful. He's getting to live his dream, dance around with his buddies in LA. Oh, it's just so good. Like, I actually get so emotional. Anyway, I was going to segue by saying the one buddy that Anthony is often seen dancing with on TikTok is Zachary. And so the next person I'm going to talk about is Zachary. And now this guy, his name is Zachary Sabania. Sorry, I should have paid more attention to the last names. I know Anthony Key because it was "You are the key to my heart." But Zachary, I don't cry that often. Okay, I cry sometimes, but not over stuff like this. Zachary, I feel like I've just watched, you know, you're like at the end of a movie. That's my emotional state at the moment. But he was described by Cosmopolitan as being a Berkeley-trained guitarist and violinist who is very committed to posting daily dance videos on TikTok. And his famous birthdays page corroborated that. It was like, that's right on the money. It detailed that Zachary, he did an internship at a law firm. He worked as a software developer, but like a constant overtone in his life was his love for music. So Zachary, not only can he play the guitar and the violin, it looks like he's a pianist as well. And not that I'm a professional or anything, like I don't really know, but he sounds amazing. Like I think he's really good. I think he's really talented because you wouldn't catch me dead doing half the stuff I saw him do so casually too. Like, but Zachary, very similar to Evan and Anthony, his interest in music, it sprouted when he was young. I think he started taking guitar lessons when he was 7 or something. And you can tell by watching him play that he's like feeling the music in his bones. Like he obviously is so connected to music. I'll play some videos for you obviously, but it's just so cool to see.
Look at that. He feels the music. Look at how he feels the music right now. It's just reminding me of those videos where it's like, you know, I just have a special kind of mind. I listen to music differently. Let me hear. See, most people wouldn't have heard that. You heard the little See, most people are listening to those lower tones. You might not have heard that. Like that's, I see so many videos like that, and it always cracks me up. And that's what it felt like she was trying to do it. Like he just feels it. He honestly, he never even got actual training. This is all just vibes. My God, why isn't my left mouse click isn't working? Wait. Wait. Why did she screen record TikTok downloader? She downloaded this from TikTok, but then like screen recorded the file instead of like... I'm so confused by this, but okay. Like why not just screen record the website then? Why screen record this file of, I guess maybe she... No, because this is TikTokdownloader.com. This was done from a site. See, I can hit that shit too. Yeah, that isn't anything. That's easy. That's...
Love gasoline in the air, balancing between two wheels. I love everyone a lot. Everyone is precious to me.
But I saw quite a few comments that were saying that Zachary was like the weakest link of Boy Throb. Boy Throb is starting to become more and more normalized in my mind. They're going to be like One Direction for me soon. I'm not going to question anything about their name. Just, oh yeah, Boy Throb. I saw Boy Throb's performance last night and it's just going to be nothing out of the usual. But anyway, Ethan from H3H3 Productions, he recently took a special interest in Boy Throb, which is quite funny, but I sort of skipped through his video about them, and when he was talking about them, he was saying that his theory was that Evan and Anthony, he was like, they're legit, like they want to be there. And then he was like, Zachary, the one in the middle, he called him, just there for the meme. He was
honestly, I thought that too, but after seeing more of her evidence, seeing the videos of him singing, I haven't seen those before. Those give me the feeling that he's serious too. But I don't know. Maybe Darshan really is the mastermind.
Like he's a poser. But nah, I mean, we'll get into that kind of chatter a little bit more later down the line. But for right now, nah, Zachary is a musician.
Why was bro mogging right there?
We'll get into that kind of chatter a little bit more later down the line. But
just the way it like watch it. The way it pops up. Hello.
now? Nah, Zachary is a musician and he dances. It's just, I'd argue that possibly we're seeing Zachary out of his element, making these more like poppy songs, doing all these big dance numbers, but he's actually doing really well. Like, I don't think he's a weak link at all, because Zachary he's been working on this for a while. Like, he was a shoo-in for Boy Throb, because what he's been doing for a long time is dancing. Yeah, dancing to pop songs. He got really, really big on TikTok.
Okay, then who is their Simon Cowell? You're not answering the questions.
Talking videos with millions of views, hundreds of thousands of likes. It's similar to the kind of success that Evan saw, except Zachary had this like perfected formula that continued to get him views every single time he posted. Well, not every single time. The TikTok algorithm is a bit funky, but pretty much every time.
It's just quirked up white boy dancing. I mean, yes, it does well in the algorithm, we know.
He posted he was popping. And it's because basically he'd dress in an outfit that you'd expect, say like a classical musician or a software developer, how they'd dress, which is pretty appropriate for Zachary. But Zachary would completely break the mold. Like, he'd dress like that, but he'd bust out moves to trending songs, and people loved it. He just had such good energy. Zachary received a lot of support for the commitment he had.
Really busting out those moves.
To the dance numbers he did. And he also got so much engagement, partially of course because of the dichotomy that he was presenting, that he was serving up to people, because it simultaneously was like kooky and unexpected but good. But also a lot of his engagement came from the fact that he looked like a lot of characters in popular media. So he got Sheldon Cooper a lot, he got Eric Foreman, he got the Good Doctor, and Link from Good Mythical Morning breaking down a boogie. He showed up in the comment section a lot as well. And I really got a good energy from Zachary's videos, and someone encapsulated it perfectly. They said, I don't know how to explain it, but you look like a really nice guy. And I think that again is why this video is making me so emotional, because he does look like a really nice guy. Here I go.
He looks so nice. He looks sweet.
Again, that's what I wrote. Here I go again. Obviously, I was going through it. So anyway, Zachary, definitely to me, he looked like he kind of faced the least challenges online out of the group. Like, he was relatively accepted for what he was doing. But two things. One, he wasn't really doing his music stuff. Like, he was posting videos of him playing guitar and things like that, but they just didn't take off the way that the dance videos did. So again,
oh my God, you're right. So it is him. See? He's the one who knows how to play the algorithm. You just said it yourself. His videos were the ones that were getting millions of views. I think this just it solved it. There we go. It is him. Clearly. He does music. He sings. He plays instruments. But he knew quirked up white boy dancing. He knew that was the formula. That was the current formula. And he said, how can I switch this up? How can I move on to my next draw, my next iteration? He was probably starting to see a bit of a decline. You know, things on the downturn, a downtrend. And he thought, what do I do? I'm a quirked up white boy. How do I keep it on the up and up? Add 2 more. And 1 person of color. He's a smart man.
I guess he probably would have preferred to do a little bit more music, but also there were some comments that were like compliments, but they were very backhanded. So like, for example, this commenter wrote, I know he can dance, but I can't prove it. And someone responded, I know this guy is blue, but I just can't prove it. And Zachary hearted that comment. So he was like, yeah, I can dance, babe. So it's like, I'm sure he can understand where the humor is coming from in his videos. Like, there is absolutely no chance in my mind that he is not playing into that, because he does like comments that play into that humor frequently. So it's obviously not something that offends him when someone makes a little jokey joke. But in reality, like, you can't say he's not busting it down, because he is. Like, he's doing it respectfully, but he is. But there are a couple more comments that I felt like gave a little bit of insight into Zachary's mind, like his thoughts about his dancing videos. And some of them were in this comment thread that I'll read to you. So someone wrote, okay, but hear me out. This is a great example of dancing skills versus choreography. He's hitting them too shy, but the moves are so clever and clean. It's like the opposite of Jojo Siwa, who's a great dancer and just does goofy moves. Now, Zachary, he didn't heart react to that comment in particular. I don't know if it was because of what they said about him, like he didn't agree with it, or if he just didn't want to like shade Jojo Siwa. But he did react to these next ones. Someone said, any good choreo can make a bad dancer look good, in my opinion. And then another said, you're right, but this is one example where the choreography is good, but too complex for average dancers. So just from what I'm seeing, what I'm gathering, I don't know the guy, but it kind of seemed like Zachary would agree that no, he wasn't like the greatest dancer. He's not a professional grade dancer. But I do think he's confident in the fact that he is dancing and that he can dance. Like, he's a baddie busting a move and he knows it. Like, this is him doing, you know, the recent choreography that's been going around to Lush Life by Zara Larsson. Tell me he's not slaying, and tell me with a straight face you can't. It even sounds like Zachary has done a bit of his own choreography. I love this guy. Unironically, I must admit, I'm a bit addicted to this guy's videos. Like, I really enjoy them. Sorry, I just had to put my camera on charge, but
She's gonna start crying again.
Bursting into Zachary's most recent content, one common theme that I noticed is that Zachary is a great sport. Like, his funny bone is activated. He can appreciate the humor in his content. He can have fun with his content, and he can still take it seriously to some extent. But what I will say about the difference from, you know, back then and
I think he brought the throb to the boys. What can I say?
now is that it's so cool to see him now having fun with his friends. Like, he appears with Anthony a lot on TikTok. And Anthony, he described Zachary as being the Throb to his Phineas, which I thought was fantastic. And then Zachary liked to comment that called Anthony an emergency contact type of friend. It just seems like a really wholesome little like bromance type of deal. But before we completely wrap up speaking about Zachary on his own, I do just want you to see the professionalism that he maintained in this video where his shoe flew off and he just kept on boogieing the figure. He just kept up with the choreography. Obviously, I can't play you the video with the original audio, so I just have to keep talking until it's done. Hopefully this is long enough, I don't know. But now that we've explored Zachary's uprising, it's time for us to take a quick little look into the guy that's been described as the heart of the band. Obviously, I'm talking about Dashon. I really got too wrapped up in discovering all about these guys, so I do kind of have to speed this up. But as a reminder, Cosmopolitan described Dashon as being a singer who shot to TikTok prominence last year with covers of Doja Cat and Maroon 5. But that wasn't when he started singing or producing content. The truth is that Dashon found joy in music years ago, and he's been posting videos of himself singing popular songs for a while now. I think back in 2021 is when people in the Western world might have first become aware of him, but there's a video on his YouTube channel from 2020, and it shows fetus Dashon, like he's so tiny, but he's singing an Indian song. It's pretty vibey, I must admit, but I don't know the song, obviously. And then just the next year he started singing popular Western songs, and that really increased his reach. That was when he got huge online. This kills me. There's a whole video of Dashon talking about his journey on social media on this channel called Social Ketchup on YouTube. The video is entitled From Viral Covers to Adam Levine Shout Out. Dashon magged him on fame, music, and memes. And I would have loved to watch that video, but unfortunately, I'm not smart enough to understand it. I can only speak English. I could translate this sentence. I found out that he learned classical singing for 4 years, but I tried to translate the entire video into English so I'd have a transcript to read, but the video didn't have captions, so I couldn't. Which guts me because I really want to know what he says. So if anyone can understand what the interviewer and Dashon spoke about in that video, please do share some tidbits in the comments. I'm sure that we'd all really love and appreciate that, or maybe it's just me, I don't know, but I really would. But what I know from what I have observed is that Dashon has built a very popular internet presence for himself, to the point that he's featured, and like we spoke about, he was in that Tumblr ad that someone saw, but he's also been in Grazia India ads, and also an ad for Swiggy, which is a food ordering delivery company based in India, so I guess like Delivereasy here, or like what do you have in America? Uber Eats? He even did a whole parody song for Nivea, so it seems like he's quite the celebrity. Like, people want to work with Dashon. Even Adam Levine, Dashon attended a Maroon 5 concert and Adam Levine shouted him out. I'll insert the clip for you so you can actually see it. It's quite cool. His reaction is so cute.
Next time we come back here, Dashon's gonna get on stage with us.
And his covers have also been reposted onto the Instagram stories of some artists, like Tyler the Creator posted about him, Rose, is that who's her name? I just realized I've never said her name out loud. And then also Bruno Mars, he seemed very excited about all those reposts. And Dashon recently, he did a cameo on Adult Swim, one of the shows on there.
Oh, Dashon's village has the worst internet provider.
So Dashon definitely brought the star power, the boy Throb. Like, they all did in their own ways, but Dashon had been really, really recognized for his star power in the past. But the difference between Dashon and the rest of the boys is that he seems to be the most upfront about the humor in his videos. Like of course, he does have a genuine love.
Maybe he is the mastermind. He's that. Maybe there is no mastermind. Maybe the mastermind is the friends they made along the way. The boy Throb.
For singing, but Dashon seems to have accepted that what brings in the views for him is the fact that he is making parodies, and so that's what he does. But now we've kind of spoken about all of the boy Throb gang. We've discovered that they are really musicians in their own rights, and they have been for a very long time, to be honest. So it took a second of looking into, but now we know that they do all have background histories and or testimonials from people that support the notion that they were natural born musicians. Like, they gravitated towards the arts from a young age. And this is all available for anyone to find out online, but that hasn't quelled the theories that are floating around about boy Throb. Partially because they're fun, right? Which is fine if we're having fun theorizing about things, but there are some things that do bother them when they're said for understandable reasons. So we're going to speak about some of the biggest theories, and then we're also going to see what boy Throb themselves had to say about the rumors and, you know, the boy band in general. And the first question that we need to answer, of course, is boy Throb satire? That's the biggest question that's been floating around about this boy band. And I think by now we probably have, like, I've given you enough information in this video, I'd say, that you can probably make your own mind up as to how you feel about the legitimacy of boy Throb. And that's great, because I can't really give you an answer. I don't know the answer, but I can tell you what my opinion is. And in my mind, the answer is that boy Throb is kind of satirical, but not entirely satirical. And that's a very important aspect, right? Because we've learned that each member of boy Throb has a true passion for the arts, but the key aspect here is that they also have a keen sense of humor. So these things are both true at once. And my understanding...
Yeah, they found their niche. And you know what? I think that I really just wanted to get the history of them, learn more about the Throb, learn more about the boys who throb. And if you're interested in this video, definitely go check it out. I'm going to give it a like. Talia is not cool. Good stuff. Is there anything extra at the end, just the outro?
It's what we should all be doing. So I really thought this was going to be a real fun, goofy video, and it turned out to be very emotional for some reason, but I'm glad that we...
It was not emotional at all. Even like their hardships were just like kind of basic. They got some shit online. Yeah. Like it really was. But good video. Really good stuff. I do think that's where I'm going to call it for today, though. I really do appreciate everybody that stopped in. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I know it's kind of an odd, kind of just stopping abruptly. But we went over 3 hours, and I was not expecting to go over almost 3:20, just about. But yes, I do appreciate everybody for stopping in, all the regular schmegulas, all of the members, all of the non-members, everybody, as always. We are all... and we will try and not be
stoic.
I believe in all of you. Thank you all so much. Merry Christmas to those of you that are celebrating Christmas. Happy holidays to those who are not. I'm going to be back tomorrow for Christmas Day as well, too, doing some more streaming stuff. We might do like some internet games or something, because I'm only going to be streaming for probably like an hour or two. You came in at the end. Sorry, Iconismus. It happens. I thought that was Pearl. It does look a little bit like Pearl, not gonna lie. But yes, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This is Captain Quasar, signing off.